Hello, sirs and madams. It's your buddy Admiral Teague. I'm here with Crimlon, and Resolute Germ. And in just a few minutes, you guys will also have an opportunity to join me when the member pass goes live. Hello out there to absolutely everyone, and thank you all for joining us. There's Paul for you guys to take, or if you want smoke. And let me welcome here with me the Paramount panel stars. And radio, if you're out there, we will absolutely fourth and long when I pass to you. We want you here too, but we want to welcome everybody who's out there right now. We're a couple of minutes late. We had a couple of technical problems. It was Crimlon's fault. What can I tell you? Just throw him right under the bus. Way to go, Crimlon.
It's normal. I do my best.
No, you know what? You're used to getting yelled at, like as am I. Where I used to be Latino, but now I'm Hispanic. I want to thank Ruby who gifted a membership to our channel. It was really sweet of you. Ruby has been a great supporter. I dedicate this member stream to Mr. House Party 6 and to Ruby Hoove and to Crimlon. But let's see. Drew C received a membership courtesy of Ruby Hoove. So congratulations. Hello out there to everybody. Let's see. Who do we have? We got the real head case. Hello, sir. We have Crimlon, Sig Volderson. Hi, Sig. It's good to see you. We also have Ruby Hoove. It's good to see you. We're going to try to entertain tonight and have some of the members together and do like all the best in life. The Trek reviewers out there, and it's good to see you. The aforementioned Drusy, John Beagle Dad, and hello. You're doing tremendous jobs, Mr. President. Congratulations. Everybody doing all right? How you feeling out there? How's things? Sure. How are you? Sure.
Oh, not doing too bad.
I was surprised that you jumped into this one at the end of last night's show. You're like, I think I need a chair like Captain Aki's at this point.
I'll give him that. It is a nice chair.
I think that this is fair to say. I didn't do a very good job as far as keeping it on point. Going over by 50% of your show time is a pretty bad failure. It should be a 3-hour show. Try to make it a 2.5-hour show. For it to end up in a 4.5-hour show. Okay, I don't know how to do it, like how to work it out when I have an episode that I ostensibly am going to do. And also at the same time, we have something like a discussion, and that discussion early on about whether or not to continue New Trek, that was a really good and engaging discussion with our community. So community bonding is, I think it became very important. So if anything, I would apologize to my panel for keeping you here so long. So thank you guys, Jerem especially, above and beyond the call of duty, sir.
Still not as bad as the half the Links Academy episodes you make us do.
I have a funny feeling that we could get Starfleet Academy done in like 2.5 hours this week with like a pretty good pacing, but I bit off more than I could chew. And my second apology would be to the panel. Like when I re-listen to it while I'm producing or trying to keep pace with what's going on and making sure that I don't do what I had to do. Like unfortunately, I had to chop out about 2 minutes of it randomly because the episode just played for too long. What we have here is this is a unique approach. We have, and we're thinking about live reactions this time, but there would probably be a gap between a live reaction show and us going live. So I don't know, like a live reaction show, then us going live to criticize the show. And I think somewhere in there, between that, I would like to record every member of the crew, like for like 2.5 minutes, just around the horn, and then like just record that, store it, make the upload from that later, and then do our live engagement. Because I've noticed like the European YouTubers, they don't jump in there as much and really mix it up with the crowd the way we do. Like, and we crowd surf here. And, it's just the way we are. Hello, Crimlon first. I think I may know who that person is. What's going on to the real head case? I said hello to you.
You would never know. What are you talking about?
Generous. Very generous $2 super chat. Oh, thank you for the compliment. We do try to be entertaining. We take it very seriously. Here comes Sci-Fi Sith Dan. I think Sci-Fi Sith Dan is going to probably be on a weekday show when he gets ready to launch Sci-Fi Historian. Maybe gets one in the books there, gets one out of the gate, and we'll have him on. He's been with the show for a long time, and we haven't had him back in a while. So, Sith Dan, you might be the first person to get a third appearance. Does he get a jacket for that?
I believe the fourth appearance is Yellow Jacket.
Okay, no problem. What do you guys think before you really get deeply into this? And thank you, Ruby, who put that up on screen. It's such a nice kitty. What do you guys think of that Sam Raimi movie? What is it called? Survive or something like that, where it's Rachel McAdams and some douchey guy who plays her boss, but while it might be woke, it might be about the fact that this dude is just so soy. So maybe by that virtue, it's not. Maybe he's taken. It seems to me, from what I can cobble together from the trailer, that if this movie does work, and it might not, what happens is they took the woke dynamic and flipped it on its head. So even though you're getting the same basic setup, he's exposing it as ridiculous. With Rachel McAdams as a secretary who works for this dude. They're in a plane. It goes down on an island, similar to that Alec Baldwin movie with Anthony Hopkins. And they have to survive on this island in I guess like equatorial tropics, right? And she takes right to it. She's like a savage, and he's trying to pull office protocol, and she's just I think the thing I remember from the commercials, I think she's got some animal blood on her and stuff, and she's like, "We're not in the office anymore, buddy," and he's just and it seems like he was spoofing it while also making a fun story and a good time if it was done right. That was the impression of what he was going for. Whether or not he sticks the landing, and thank you, Ruby, who so much. Whether or not he sticks the landing, I guess is anyone's guess. Has anyone seen that trailer? And I don't have the name of the movie right. What's Raimi's movie?
I'm not sure offhand about the name. I have heard of the trailer. I don't think I've seen it all the way through yet.
It's good. It was commanding and compelling. I found it enjoyable. Let's see. Sam Raimi, let's pull him up right now. Let's see what comes up. Ash vs. Evil Dead still comes up first. I heard they're going to kill Raimi's Spider-Man at the beginning of Doomsday. I don't like that idea at all. Just leave Tobey Maguire out there. Let that Spider-Man have a happy ending. Of all the characters in the MCU, which is the worst ever place to live, send help. Send Help is the movie. To be fair, Send Help looks like it could be kind of fun. This doesn't look like an Argyle level failure. And hi out there. We got some people stumbling in. Hi, Michelle Perry. If you want to jump on live, start making your presence known. Tell me if you want to do it. You will get your chance anyway, but I want to hear some enthusiasm. Are you not entertained? Are you ready to be part of the entertainment? Krimlon,
you're not ready to be entertained.
Krimlon, you were part of all of what we did with 1923. You were part of 1883. You were part of everything we did and everything. We have comprehensive coverage of Landman. Our season 1 stuff is really succinct. I think at some point before it fades from our mind, we should do a season 2 retrospective comprehensive without an audience that we can just put up there as an upload, maybe edit some video over it to be ready for when season 3 comes out. Because I think that what we saw was a show that wasn't perfect, but every week was really worth watching. I got to admit, whether or not I had this show or not, I would have been looking forward to watching Landman. Anyone else?
It had its moments where it was dying off. I think
Was
doing
it
a
early in
revision
the
on it
season?
may actually end up changing my grade as
Well,
the season as a whole.
Do you think that the cringy series destructive moments were, hey Sig, did I say hello to you yet? Hello, sir. I think I did, but hello again. It's great to see people here and people having some fun. Hello, Milmer 2267, having fun with Leighton behind the scenes. I love when you know what? I consider the use of the pride flags and stuff like that to be probably something that's protecting us from the almighty algo. Opinions, gentlemen?
Well, it's possible the algorithm is rather stupid.
I mean,
it also does favor certain points of view that we, you know what, we're able to get our point across by simply, we're not too harsh. We don't provide a lot of everyone F's up if you sit in front of the microphone for too long, but we're not too harsh. We're not instructional. We try to have a show for everybody. Do we make certain political jokes? I mean, I don't know how point of view it is to have some of these things.
Sure. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I think that there are some things that are just there.
Just be happy. I mean, you're part of the crowd. You're part of the hipster. I mean, you are the Q that is in Brooklyn, or was it New York? Yeah. That right?
Yeah, New York. It's so weird. Like my hat is on correctly, but like the camera disorients the hat, and like it makes your mind go to weird places. And sorry guys, I couldn't get my contact lenses in tonight. I wore them for too long again, and my eyes are all dried out, so I had to put on my glasses. So I'm doing my best. Progressives are weird. I didn't realize how much you move and reorient your head while you're using them. But you know what? Like I got to see, and I don't want to put contacts.
I don't care.
First thing I'll say right off the bat, Jerb, sorry, buddy. I was like only okay, but you did like, wow. Like if there's a run game in this show, it's Jerb. And last night, one thing I did listening today, I don't think I did the greatest job of utilizing my paddlists at all. I think that could be improved on. But the biggest problem I'd say would be trying to fix the pacing after we bit off too much than we could chew. What do you think, Jerm? Next time, break off in the middle of the episode and finish it next week?
Maybe, but just try to pick up the pace.
I don't know if the pacing is bad, because if you think about it, if we take off the hour and a half that was New Trek, we had a 3-hour show. I think that I underutilized my element, my paddle, and I think that a lot of you guys had jokes that I wasn't able to utilize correctly because I was doing other things, trying to catch up, and just basically not doing the best job that I should be doing this far into it. So to our audience and our community, I'm going to say, I've got to do better, and I will. We had a great weekday show, so that I don't know if that makes up for it. I want to thank everyone who hung in so long for the show. When we're at 14 minutes live. When we hit about 40 minutes live, I'll drop the pass into the member posts. We got to control the sharing of it, and then we'll have people on and we can hang out for a couple hours, maybe a little less. But Jerem, man, what a night of Star Trek you and I put it together. That was 5.5 hours of Star Trek. We watched the episode.
Just about.
Then we did the show, which was almost 4.5 hours. I thought that one of the things that made this whole Forge thing really good is I think maybe there might have been a blind spot in our assessment. Could it be that the stories of episode 4 and episode 3 as a whole in its novelness, when you hit the 3-parters for episode for season 4, right? There is enthusiasm for every episode breakdown.
I think so. The stories are getting much better, especially compared to season 3. And I think this is the height of Enterprise. So
it's too bad. It's getting better. What happens is the adults who wanted to move on from Star Trek already anyway left the room, and the people who wanted to prove themselves by making a really good, innovative Star Trek were given free reign, but they had been around Star Trek long enough. Someone like Manny Coda, who is still around with them till Strange New Worlds, but I don't think this latest garbage, but Manny Coda, who was their lore master they ignored, he's been around for a long time. He's still there, able to advise them. And honestly, I think the Sussman trilogies have been the ones we've seen so far have been real good. His damage control on Stormfront storyline and the Vulcan Forge storyline that he had at least written episode 3 of. He seems to be your episode 3 out of the park guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the finisher for their stories. He had a hand in at least I think is like 85% of the episodes. So
Right, he's a producer on a lot of them, and I don't
Yeah.
think an insignificant one. Like, he was probably a little ahead of Metalis in the pecking order here. It seems like he was the kind of producer who, yeah, he might get sent to do some things that were a little bit, menial, but like when he had some input, like it was considered. Like rather than
Yeah.
a planet named after him, he got to be a producer of 70 of 96 episodes. So they believed in him, and this final season, I believe he has the most say. The thing is that the production's done, it's canceled. He's looking to, like, he's unfortunate. Like, unfortunately, he's like, congratulations, you're the captain of our ship. However, we hit the Titanic a while ago. We didn't close the waterproof bulkheads, and the ship's going down. And hey, here he is, a friend of ours, and another member of the Paramount panel. Here he is being beamed directly to our bridge. Let's get him up here now. Hail to you, radioactive sir.
Damn, Teague, that Mutara Nebula is a bitch.
Yeah.
You got to get me out of that sector, man. You just got to move me back to like the neutral zone before the frickin' Dominion War is over. Just give me the dilithium crystals.
It's still not as bad as the
Delta
Brazos.
Quadrant.
He stuck me over by the Brazos, so at least you got a good view.
I've got this one figured out. I think the deal is like, I'm Space Patton. Germ, I think, is he's like my Roger Corby sidekick guy, right? Like he's there giving me the sobering advice, telling me not to go too insane.
We know who
Space Monty is. Absolutely the tachyon pulse. And as unworthy as it is.
Am I the clown? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I think that you're like you would be more like
the useful idiot.
Does he look funny to you? Does he
look
like he's funny?
You know what? I'm going to reshuffle the deck here. You know what Germ is? Remember the guy who brings Patton to the hotel in Paris, and he's like, I have several ideas about our invasion. There's a few things. He's like, damn it, George, shut up and sit down. Yeah,
you mean Beetle?
Like, yeah.
Hey, as long as I'm not an Englishman.
No, you're an American, and you're the guy who's like, damn it, George, shut up and sit down. You're like, huh? And like Patton's like, what? And he's like, just. Damn it, George, you're a pain in the ass. You need to shut up. You need to just shut up and plan better. And like when you strike again, be ready to do it. And be ready when the opportunity is there. Until then, there's things you need to do, and you need to make waves, but they need to be the right size. Because damn it, when you do it wrong, you're a pain in the neck. I think that's who you are. What do you think?
That sounds very accurate.
Remember that guy? He was the same guy who gets jumped by Monty in the bathroom, and he's like, Beetle, I have a plan for the invasion of Sicily, which will be the final, as I could say. And it's like, I gotta warn you, Georgie Patton's got his idea about that one, and they do the whole thing with the mirror and the map. It's the same guy. He's a badass. He becomes one of the shot callers by the middle of the war. He's a real, like, well-regarded general, and one of the few people who keep Patton in line. So I think that's where you would be. And I haven't figured out where Radioactive and Kremlin fit in yet. Like Sean might be Bradley. What do you guys think? Is Sean my Bradley?
Yes.
Yeah.
When in doubt, there's nothing that hangs in the air that long. Just give any answer. It's a good idea.
No, he's definitely Bradley. That makes sense.
And you know what? We get to go out there and do battle on behalf of the fans of good quality entertainment, especially Star Trek entertainment. Has anybody showed up since I've been in here? I see we have Wes Cagle. Wes, sir, you have access to a pass if you want to jump on. You have been live for us for a while. I know a little bit about Walter Beetle Smith. He's my favorite, although I think the general I would have been most like would have been as ranty, as insane as Patton, but my command style would have been Courtney Hodges. Courtney Hodges was known for using tech, staying behind the lines, and keeping out of danger while calling in the plays. He was also very calm and well-reasoned.
Very New York Jets of you.
If you what do you mean? Are you calling me Space Woody Johnson?
Yeah, that's about it.
Your team sucks.
Fuck you, sir. You know, where would you be if your quarterback hadn't learned how hard it was to lose in New York? Where would you be if he wasn't immune to the sting of loss from the experience?
Drafted 3 quarterbacks. They all seem to do better at other teams.
It's true. It's just the truth. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Admiral Teague member stream. We're working towards the moment where we drop the link into the community posts. You'll have a chance to get in there. I'm wondering how the poll is doing. Let's see. That was all suggestive in a row. You'll have a chance to get in there, and I wonder how the poll is doing. We got 14 votes. What inspired you to join the channel? The weekday talk show is in second place with 14%. Taylor Sheridan, 0%. Star Trek, 43%. I'm going to say, I think our Taylor Sheridan audience, it's weird. We don't want to reverse this because we love the live stuff that goes on with our Star Trek audience. I don't know what's going on with our Taylor Sheridan audience, if they're younger, if they're older, if they're traditional TV watchers, because they haven't interacted as much, but they do watch. They watch a lot. They like after the fact. They are really good for this channel's numbers, keep it viable, and make us great fighters for Star Trek with the ammunition they give us as far as everything that the Taylor Sheridan people give us as far as the watch and the love for Landman and shows like that. It benefits them as we try to give them the best Taylor Sheridan analysis show that's independent. But I think it also really helps out the Star Trek community because it gives us some gravitas and a slightly larger beacon to broadcast it with. And the cross-pollination seems to be Star Trek people love Taylor Sheridan. And some Taylor Sheridan people have run into the live show, found it funny, and realized that since they didn't dislike Star Trek, they'll hang with us. What do you guys think? Have I nailed that dynamic of how people got here?
Well, the
That
thing
sounds
is
pretty
that
accurate.
Taylor Sheridan is more Star Trek than people realize, especially NCC 1883.
We have said that a lot, and I think there's a lot of validity. And you have it strongly held. So you know what? Here's what I'm gonna say. Like, you know what? Radioactive, talk about what it is about Taylor Sheridan that reminds you so much of someone like Gene Roddenberry's vision and Star Trek.
Well, it's pretty clear. Open range, the final Western frontier. These are the voyages of the USS Yellowstone. Its one-year mission to seek out new wildlife and new guardian civilizations, to boldly go where no European has gone before.
Space
awesome.
prostitutes.
I like it. We could have those too. You know, Yellowstone is an interesting place. I thought that the Yellowstone adventure had the optimism of Star Trek. It had high stakes, and it was a lot more grim than Star Trek. But there was optimism in the sense of like they wanted to go somewhere. They had this vision of what they could do. Like 1883 and 1923 have an optimism. Yellowstone proper, I would stay away from categorizing just yet. Got to know more about it. But it seems like it's a reduced importance unless we do Marshalls, which I don't know. Does anyone think that maybe CBS will get a different version than what we get on Paramount Plus?
Extended scenes Yellowstone or which?
Marshalls is coming next.
No, they're going to
Yellowstone Marshalls. They're going to simulcast. Will there be a drop in the middle of the week with an enhanced one for you know what I mean? Like Taylor Sheridan with just extended scenes could do something great with that. But I don't know how involved he is with the TV version of it. I don't know if he's doing that or has started working on his first Universal movie. The deal is, Taylor Sheridan, guys, if you're a fan of his, he's going to be doing Universal movies pretty soon. But he's with Paramount Plus for a decent amount of time longer. Enough for him to do one, and even maybe if he wants to hurry it up, two. At this pace, he could get 2 seasons of Landman in. And then further down the line, maybe introduce some shows that he would pass off to people at Paramount, leaving them a little more well set up in the future without having to do like some sort of consult. He could just do exit in 2029 to 2030 with like I don't know, populating a Landman spinoff. By then, Cooper and Ariana might be viable. I'm not saying they're the ones, but you guys get what I'm saying. What do you guys think? A Sheridan verse on Paramount and another one on, he went back to Universal, which, guys, that's Peacock NBC.
I'm starting to doubt he actually ends up on Peacock NBC.
Was there a counter offer made by the Ellisons or something that's changing your mind? I'd love to know.
David Ellison has a tendency to outbid anybody. He's going to drive several dump trucks full of money over to Sheridan's ranch and bring him back.
The Ellisons are the greatest people ever. They're the people ever.
You know what? The Ellisons, I want to thank them for helping to heavily fund this channel with Paramount Plus oriented programming. Like, we skewer a lot of it, but since I have the service, and it's just, you know what? I want to thank the Ellisons for populating the channel with Paramount Plus type, programming, because a lot of it is pretty high quality. And then we have the Star Trek to work off of. It is the most dirt cheapest of streaming services. And to that, I would also say we should take this moment to, pour one out if you have one for Hulu. Went away yesterday, I believe. It's gone, right? Hulu's gone.
I believe so.
It still lives. It's just been absorbed into the matrix.
Some of it goes on.
Or have assimilated it.
I'm trying to figure out
imagine
who is
this
Lou. Who is this Lou you're speaking of?
Lou. It's the Fox streaming service that was vestigial and left over. The thing is, it had its own very non-Disney shows, and it would have been smart to keep it and leave it as its own connected but optional brand. And just like, the thing is, Hulu was outperforming Disney Plus, so they just bought their competition. And now, unfortunately, like, I don't see those 50-cent shows being allowed to go forward with Disney, but I would love them to. People love them, and he might be getting close to movie territory with them. You don't have to love them to see that they've been on for years and make money and don't have a really high production cost. Has anyone seen any of these good shows like Power and Ghost and like all the Power shows?
Disney didn't want to compete against itself with the Hulu.
More importantly, they didn't want to lose against themselves.
But if you fight yourself.
Well, they're already having problems with trying to show investors that Disney Plus is worth a darn. So if they have Hulu, which they own also, which is doing better, why not just merge it directly into Disney and get rid of Hulu? That way they can make their investments look better than what they really are.
It's just creative accounting.
Exactly.
I would point out by the rules of French warfare, if Disney goes to war against itself, it would be their first win in a long time because they couldn't lose. No matter who loses, Disney wins. Right? I mean, when France has lost a lot of wars in a row, they go to war with themselves so that they can't lose.
They'll certainly want to make it look like that, but creative accounting only lasts so long. When people actually realize Hulu has been absorbed into Disney Plus, they look and say, why the hell do I have a Disney Plus account? They're going to cancel, and all that extra money is going to go away.
I don't think people have been under any misconceptions about this for a while because they advertise it together for over a year and a half, 2 years now. And I think it's baked in that they're the same thing. And the Hulu tab's going to go away, and people are going to be like, why am I watching this? Paramount Plus, $9. Hulu was $15 like 2 years ago when I had it. It came with Showtime, I think, is their movie service. Whichever it wasn't all that bad, and I enjoyed like some programming. I could watch Hulu more or less, like to a point. Within reason, I could watch Hulu. There were some pretty good Hulu shows, and like they had some good movies, like Fox has had a good movie catalog. It's now the Disney movie catalog, but they had their superhero movies too. And by the way, yes, I am wearing a German, West German, a country that no longer exists, a West German military jacket, because I did tease this one as the February member stream unpacking the Star Trek fans' year of hell. I'll drop that theory and then I'll drop the pass. Here's the deal, guys. Sprinkled throughout this year, without ever growing to a movie of its own, all the Kurtzman shows are starting to taper to a close. Section 31, no one thinks it's a movie, and it'll be reclassified as a non-movie. The only thing that has in common with the movie is it's more than 70 minutes long. I think that this steady drip drab of Kurtzman track mostly has been made after he knew that it was over. I do think that he is trying to drive down the rights, in my opinion, for Star Trek so he can buy it for young and adult novels and some bad comic books. I also believe that his golden parachute is to be a leftist speaker, going to different colleges and talking to people about what they think is Star Trek. Because remember, no one's watched this. So he's going to walk in there and people are going to be like, that's the guy who was behind like Deep Space Nine. And then he's going to get the gravitas of real Star Trek. So I believe that there's now this insincere golden parachute where we have taken people who failed because they weren't funny, and they failed because they weren't funny being very lazy comedians, and they skewed left on the low-hanging fruit of lazy humor, which alienated half their audience, was lazy and therefore not funny, lost the charm that's something a few years back like Jon Stewart, where a lot of different people could still like it, even if they didn't agree. Like, he was able to be funny. People have changed their opinion about him now. The Jon Stewart is like the Force Awakens of entertainers. Like, people were like embarrassed that they were kind of liking him for a while, but way back when, as far back as MTV, he was able to be entertaining. And like, Germ might not be old enough to even remember that, Jon Stewart.
Oh no, I remember that was only the early 2000s.
No, MTV Jon Stewart is 1993. That's when he began. The Jon Stewart Show, the first show called The Jon Stewart Show was on MTV in their early 40s of the programming. And it was far out, far more comedic. And he was Colbert before Colbert, better than Colbert, funnier than Colbert. And he had his own thing. And like, politics wasn't as, in the forefront. And comedy wasn't quite as mean and quite as personal and quite as polarized. And he just did a pretty good job doing it for that forum, which is now, 33 years ago? So take it, a life of Christ ago now. So take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, I would have missed that. I didn't have cable until the late 90s.
And you were like 5. Sure, it wasn't written for you. It wasn't for you, Germ. I mean, it's literally Rugrats was the show that was for you at that time, correct?
Hey, Reptar was awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, what show?
You're dating yourself, Teague.
You know what? That's still not illegal in this state, despite all the other stuff that is, like clearing off the sidewalks.
Well, it would be legal in Kurtzman Soy Trek, though.
It would be legal, and everything would be legal in Kurtzman Soy Track, which is the most immoral and challenged world we've ever seen. The pass has gone live. If you have membership status here at the Admiral Teague Show, don't share it, please. It's in the posts. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat so that you guys can jump in there. Just dive right in. Jerm, did you watch the Alec Baldwin Revenge of the 50-Foot Woman like I recommended you did?
We watched that last week. We watched the 50s version, not the Alec Baldwin version. I wasn't interested in seeing him strap on a wetsuit and go diving for giant vagina.
Oh, you were hoping you were hoping for some sort of strap on. What are you talking about?
Including, yeah, you might be right. Including what do you call it? 90s Daryl Hannah, who still had relevance. Did you know that Daryl Hannah's now married to Neil Young?
Who?
That poor woman.
Yeah.
Speaking of Neil Young, did you hear where he was going to sell his entire music discography, I guess?
Does he still own any of it?
I don't know. He said, I saw an article where it said
more than once.
Okay, well, this time he's going to sell it to Greenland to help them out.
Oh. Oh, to Greenland, the 50,000 people that live there.
I want to point out that the Neil Young library that Neil Young owns himself, that one is absolutely only and ever going to be found at sorry, always, only, and ever going to be like 5 to 8 songs that he's written since the Buffalo Springfield stuff got sold off first. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I think, is held by Entrust. He doesn't have anything to do with that. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, I don't know, different corporation. There may, in fact, be something going to it. There may be something to him selling that off or them selling it off. I don't know how licensed it is.
Isn't it interesting, Teague, that all these lefty musicians and everything have all their little LLC corporations, and yet they're so anti-capitalist?
I have a weird feelings about Neil Young because he was able to be so pre-punk that the emotion of his music and his band when he does with Crazy Horse really is some pretty good stuff. And now that it's so far in the past, like my father fought in Vietnam, but I don't mind him singing his anti-Vietnam songs and his hippie stuff because he had like a distorted and wild guitar and he played some angry solos and the Crazy Horse guitar player was good, so there was some fun to it. And I thought that, despite the lyrics, I could enjoy Neil Young. And then even in the 80s, like Bruce Springsteen is seen as this American, like almost like modern day Willie Nelson, which, the Willie Nelson of New Jersey, okay, you get the Willie Nelson you deserve. But when you listen to lyrics in Born in the USA, they absolutely are the most depressing, suck-ass lyrics ever about America. And they're really like down on America. And then you listen to something like Rocket in the Free World. It is equally unflattering, but at the same time, Neil Young gave up his Canadian exclusive citizenship and became a dual citizen, or I think an exclusive American, because he said he criticized America too much not to be an American citizen. So I give him some credit for his convictions. He may be completely wrong. There's people we just don't agree with who are like wrong, who still have the courage of their convictions. He's wrong on a lot of stuff, but he believes it. Puts his money where his mouth is.
Sure.
Thanks for the affirmations. Hey guys, there are people who do it far less honorably, let's be honest. Neil Young, at least some talent. He has a few good songs. I would say the Springsteen analogy is the one that holds true. Bruce Springsteen gets lauded as this like all-American boy, but what has he done but like slag on America for his whole career? Born in the USA is a completely depressing song, and isn't he on like an anti-government rant right now too? I mean, this is right.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is.
That's why I think he's kind of like it's a good moment to bring him up. Like he's got a lot of strong opinions. And my opinions are becoming a little more strong and vitriolic and hard to keep off X because honestly, I think 8 days in that and 8 days into this, maybe Mayor Commissar Mamdani should have fucking cleared the streets.
Well, yeah, but if he did that, there wouldn't be any money for the daycare facility.
Clear my streets, dagnabbit. I'm up on break a hip.
There already is a subsidy for people to have daycare centers.
Yeah, but there's daycare centers and then there's daycare centers.
You mean the Learning Center? You have Learning Centers?
We probably do. The state doesn't have enough inspectors to keep the private ones in line. Hire more inspectors, keep them in line, and let people have choice about this. The worst thing we want to do is have it be a state-run operation. But you know what? I'm not a parent, so I'm not going to like lay down the law on this one.
Maybe you missed my reference.
Did I?
Maybe.
Possible. It's possible. I do want to thank everybody who made the Forge trilogy such a success. And last night's pop culture conversation, we crossed the streams for the first time successfully. But what I did was I at least chaptered it. And if you're visually referencing it, the Star Trek Enterprise logo goes from the dark logo for the mirror universe it turns white. The lettering turns white when we change over to the Enterprise plot synopsis, which I would point out we still got through in the standard amount of time. I like I said, I apologize to the panel. You guys were funnier than I was able to give you credit for. Star Trek 1883 would be great. Hey, we have someone rejoining us here. We had him on last time. It's nice to have him back. About to be beamed right to our bridge. You've met him before. Let's say hi to Headcase. Hey, Headcase, how you doing? Welcome back.
What's up, guys?
It's good to see you. We're
Yo,
doing
Good
good.
to see you. I fixed my avatar. Finally figured it out. I had to ask Instaphobos.
Phobos is great. I was listening to Mr. Brown before. I had a great time in there. I interacted with you in the chat. That's a good avatar. I like that one. That's the, you know what? It's a good head case one. Mine was,
Hey.
I would have had a bowling bag shaped like a human head. That's my
Dude,
thought for head case.
So this is an actual photo that I made myself. It was on a black piece of like cardboard, and then I painted like I made a circle like with the record, and then I painted under it, and then I put the clear record over the top, and then I painted over the label. It's actually a real painting that I have. It's just a shitty picture of it.
It looks pretty cool in the avatar. I won't lie, but like I look forward to seeing 2.0 on that one. And Leary Center Sig Balderson. As far as that one goes, I live in the city of New York, and I did some research here. It is far under 2% of New York claims can be called Arab, according to Grok. And like the numbers of people from the different Arab and different countries was like in the tens of thousands. People who were of the Islamic faith numbered under 2% of New York City. Maybe the most generous I saw was 2.1%. So that's not enough of a coalition to get Mamdani in there. What happened was he was just running against a guy who was indicted, the first mayor of New York ever to be arrested and walked out of City Hall as a criminal, charged as a criminal. He beat it because they didn't do procedural stuff, the same thing that happened with Trump. And our former governor, who arguably has a lot to answer for with what happened with the coup, and no one really approves of the things that he did. Looking back on it as 2020 hindsight, maybe there will be a different disposition on it. I tend to think not, though, because the president said that we should vote for him against rather than Mamdani. So
your real problem was you let women vote.
This is not an nationwide problem.
Like 85% of the women vote.
That pesky 19th Amendment.
What are you going to do? I have no control over this. This was a reality before I was around. And I'll just point out that maybe women were smarter. My mom is definitely smarter than, say, someone like any of my girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
Although I would say they all shared a healthy contempt for me, right? So they had that in common.
Yeah, sign of intelligence.
They knew I was up to something, and they knew I wasn't being truthful about whether or not I was cheating. Not on mom, but maybe I was cheating on my responsibilities around the house. But I wasn't quite upfront with that. But let's just say I wasn't too candid until I hit like 30 and started having like things like guilt and honor. It took a while. Wild young Teags was like savage, and so does Wild Oats.
Yeah, my 20s. In my 20s, man.
You know what? I don't really necessarily need a do-over, just as long as I have it in the memory of like a first generation videotape. Like it's still pretty clear some of the wild things that happened. And I was glad that there was no internet and no influencers. Like, what is spring break like now?
Oh, dude, it's got to be terrible.
Off balconies with a selfie stick, like that, like doing like their own version of the Doors movie.
Spring break now is kind of like a certain defunct Caribbean island.
I don't think it would even be fun.
Kids, right?
Right. It's not even going to be fun. Like, it's just all on film. Everybody, like you said, with the selfie sticks around, like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Everybody's doing, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, and even when I was there as a younger person, well, I was there in like a time when we're going to this way. I saw the Fix play on the beach. Hey, sci-fi. I saw the Fix play on the beach. That's how long ago it was, right? So, like at that point, after like I don't know, it's a week of spring break, so 7 days. Like after say 4, we needed to get away from Daytona for a couple of days just to get our heads together. So what we did was we went to like Disneyland, and it was kind of fun because we didn't desist from like partying. Like you couldn't drink nonstop in Disneyland. That was Busch Gardens, but you could like say maybe do LDS, as Kirk would call it. And I remember looking at the plants in Disneyland and seeing the roots through the basins and be like, "This is awesome."
So,
And
are
hear
you
that
saying
music.
the last time you went out to do spring break was when Fletcher Henderson and the orchestra was popular?
What was popular? I would say the number one song the last time I went on spring break was "Vogue" by Madonna.
Oh, I thought it was like either the Wolverines or Fletcher Henderson and the Fletcher Henderson Orchestra.
I'm a dirty old man. It was Billie Eilish. Hit me hard and soft.
I mean, that was the 1920s, right?
Hypothetically, the last time I was, exactly.
Okay, Louis Armstrong. Yeah.
The number one song in America was "The Happy Days Are Here Again."
Just spring breaking, like back with the Rat Pack is playing, everybody just snapping their fingers.
That would have been a better spring break than the one I was subjected to that had Madonna and MC Hammer and stuff like that going on. Like that Fix concert on the beach was like a moment of sanity. Like at least they're pretty good. There was a lot of just terribleness going on. Just terribleness.
So Madonna looking like a fish.
She still looked pretty good back then, although I would say that was you're getting into the final 5 to 8 years. Although Madonna still looks great when she comes back in 2000 or maybe 1998 with that Ray of Light album. But then you're past the point of no return.
Did anybody else see the nudes that she did with Vanilla Ice?
Oh, there's a whole book. She put out an album and a steel book, an early, different kind of a steel book. It was a photo album, but it had a steel cover, and it was just called like Sex or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's so many people in there. If you like Sandra Bernhardt's in there, and it's like, wow, she was really into working out. Holy shit, she has an actually good physique. I mean, it's got Sandra Bernhardt's head on it, but it's like, wow, what a body. And like, yeah, there's like Vanilla Ice and her obviously did some stuff like they're naked running around, and Madonna was just like he must work out. She was just super into like working out and training. She was super into looking hot. She had hit the ceiling of what she could do with her voice. She was becoming maybe a little more creative force in her own music. She definitely always had a lot of control over her own career, but friends of mine saw Madonna at Spit on Long Island, which was called Uncle Sam's at the time. It was that long ago that like Madonna's been around for a long time. When you see her now, her lips look like a baboon's ass, and she's just a real weirdo. And sometimes she can be okay, and sometimes what she says makes no sense. I'll tell you right now, I don't truly get what's going on with Madonna.
Yeah, I mean, what's with the big lips thing anyway? Like the like on X, it's like everybody's like pulling up all these profiles and being like, check out this person that just destroyed their life by too much injections, and that's not the key to it. Like you can't just fix 50 years of aging and Hollywood by just like injecting some silicone in your lips. It's not going to fix everything. You're hoping it will.
No, obviously not. I think the deal is this: like, if done right, maybe you get results that aren't too bad. And like, I think the goal is that it be undetectable. But I think that if you fuck up too much, what happens is you get a bloated lip line, and it's permanent, and you can't go backwards. So you're stuck at the maximum density. And then if you fuck up more, and it gets low, like it's like mission creep. Because that's goes like it's not silicone. I believe it's Botox. So the silicone is when you've given the silicone is end stage addiction to the lip. Well, no, actually, you could get in the lips too, but that's like end stage lip surgery when you've given up and you're like, I'm just gonna, rather than get the Botox every week, I'm just gonna fill my lips with like absolutely just like rubber.
Well, if you look at the Sydney Sweeney photo, she may have gotten Botox or silicone or whatever, but those are nice lips. Like if you just left it at that and you didn't go any further, they're beautiful. Don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I won't live to see Sydney Sweeney at 70, but you know what? She's looking great right now. And guys, pinned to the top of the chat is a way for you to join us. It's not the pass. It takes you to the member posts. If you're a member, there is a pass in there that will bring you here and you can join us and chat with us for a little while. We'd love to have you with us. I've got with me my Paramount panel, and we've been joined again by Headcase. Good to see Headcase out there with a great new avatar. Mr. Brown covered a bunch of stuff today, some stuff that we don't really do. They did do a lot of Star Trek Academy, though. And wow.
Was that the toy? Was that the toy stream? Well, that was yesterday.
I believe I was doing them earlier today.
Well, I watched a stream live yesterday.
I was interacting on the chat live with other people, so I know it was today, but it was earlier today. Phobos was on there, Bex Electronic was on there, and it was pretty good. Or am I maybe mixing up there? I don't know. Was I doing it before yesterday's stream? I streamed, I slept, I streamed, I slept, I listened to live streams, and I streamed more. The lack of football has broken up my day. Hello, Tim. Welcome to the show. Hello, Michelle Fairy Tales. And it's nice to have everyone here. It's anyone I missed. Hello to everyone. It's good to see you here. Oh, Mr. President. Sorry.
I was watching Mr. Brown Alliance, and thank you for correcting me last time. I will never forget his name now. It was yesterday. I was watching something, and they were reviewing A to Z Star Wars toys, or toys of the past, from A to Z, and that's the video I'm thinking of. If there was a video today, then I must have missed that.
Today they did Stand Help, Marvel, DC, and Starfleet Academy. I missed the Send. I got there in the middle of Send Help. It was a great listen. Phobos was on there, so shouts out to him and props. And if you listen to Mr. Brown and you've made it over here, thank you. And I would just say, tip of the hat to Mr. Brown for bringing so many people curious about stuff that we discussed to YouTube. And we love them. They're great. At any rate, one of the things that we did here was Landman. We got the Landman people here. Anybody got some ideas for season 3 they want to put out there, or some stuff about season 2 that maybe we never talked about you want to talk about?
I think we covered Landman pretty well, and
we actually did.
Well, it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be pretty obvious what happens.
Tommy and Galino are going to start to become more and more adversarial till he grabs either Angela, Ainsley, or both. And if Demi Moore's in it at all, it's the first episode and she gets grabbed too. And he's like, I'm going to turn them all into human barbecue, Tommy. And Tommy's either going to save them or not.
It's going to get heated. He may or not grab him, but Tommy's going to have a heart attack.
Hey, Lombardi, welcome to the show.
I think
Tommy is going to have a heart attack.
I think we can all see that that's going to end up with a heart attack at some point.
Well,
yeah, he'll be getting talked to
a lot. Taylor Sheridan, more than any other creator that we've followed, he pulls off a lot of stuff, and I don't mean he pulls it off by getting it done, although that is true too.
Giggity.
We have seen him veer off of several storylines. Germ noticed so many things about that truck that linked it to her Ainsley's season 1 boyfriend that it can't be disregarded. That was a drop storyline. I'm convinced. I mean, I don't need to think about it anymore. The pig farmer thing and the heavy equipment thing. I think heavy equipment thing was just a low effort way to get Dale in there more and get that actor paid, because and show him off, because that actor's just likable and that character is just likable. It's hard not to like Dale, and to show how important he is and to show that this is the world they work in. And I think it was a lot of product placement because we saw all of the oil company and oil industry stuff, and God knows they have money, and Taylor Sheridan needed to go out there and beat the brush to get money. He didn't go to the Democratic Party though for it, like Kurtzman did. And Jerem, you had your say on this, but I saw with Kurtzman, he puts the they them characters in everything. They're overrepresented. We're 6 Taylor Sheridan streaming shows in. We got our first they them ever, so maybe much closer to the proportion. Still a little bit higher, but much closer to the real life proportion. And this they them was actually having an identity crisis and is now a very weirdo she, who could still fall back into being an asshole. We don't know, but I think with Pagan, we're going to see Pagan maybe tack towards more and more normal, and then people are going to abuse her because she was a they them and a little too androgynous and a little too adversarial to people early on, and made a bad first impression with other people too. I think that'll be season 3 for Pagan. Anybody else? Or is it Peyton or Pagan? It's Pagan.
Pagan. It's definitely Pagan. Like what was it? Like the religion.
Like the godless religion. And Ainsley, a character that we were going to make the bad guy, she tacked towards nicer and nicer, and she came out of the confrontation. It wasn't a confrontation. The encounter from her side and the attack from the other side, although passive aggressive by Pagan, and even though it was more calm and reason than Jerem is used to, you did say adversary. Your impression of the kind of community that Pagan was supposed to represent is you do find it the adversarial and difficult, and you think that Kurtzman's more on point, even though he's trying to idealize them, and Taylor Sheridan, who just wants to give everybody a moment in the spotlight, make his world real, and have like a more representative version of things. He may just have presented the most sympathetic version of that we saw just by keeping it to, I don't want to have a lot of despicable characters.
Yeah, it is their more natural state. I think Sheridan may be trying to represent them in a more favorable light. So if any of them actually do watch, they can get the idea that they don't naturally have to be so defensive and standoffish.
If you were a woke person, there might be like no pleasing you. It seems like if you're 99% the same, you're 1% different, you're 100% adversarial towards each other, and that like they will never have a coalition until they start to realize they need to work together. And that identity politics thing that just destroyed them in the last election. Like I don't think it changed the fate of the outcome. I think glitching replicant president sealed that one in stone. Whatever else may have happened, that was the end of that delusion, and it looked really bad. So I don't know if it changed the fate of what was going to happen, but I do think that the identity politics and the ultimate selfishness of that, where you're in it for yourself and you only want to see it if you see yourself, like this might even have the chance to open up some minds the way Star Trek did, because you're going to see people like Ainsley. If you're like, I don't know, maybe let's say a lesbian who's woke, you might watch Taylor Sheridan for a while, and before you have a chance to turn off the base confrontation at the wind farm, where he goes after the alternative energy, when he spins it around and he goes after the pros and cons of staying with petrochemicals and how it'll ultimately probably lead us all to war, that was like, fair. Like it was like, whether or not you agreed with his points, he had a well-rounded discussion of it. And we've heard that Taylor Sheridan just likes to get his views out there without it derailing the story. And that, this is a story about people living in the oil industry rather than the oil industry itself, which it has to be. It's oil industry fantasy.
I think so.
Go for it, gentlemen. Jump ball.
I really like the show. I was talking to somebody the other day where they said it's really changing, and that they hoped that the his wife wouldn't start bringing in this whole I don't know if you guys know anything about All's Fair, the show. Anyway, he was doing All's Fair videos, and he mentioned that he hopes that they don't take that and they just haven't done that yet. I'm glad to see that. I'm super glad to see that they're letting women be men, or women be women, men be men, and people can be sexy no matter, like their age, if you just kind of like film it right, and there's really no reason to start, shaking it up too much as far as that goes. When I think that if that starts happening, that's when it's going to start going downhill. You're gonna be like, ah, shit.
It's All's Fair, a dramatic show. I'm looking at the cast.
Oh, dude, it's the worst show ever.
Kim Kardashian. Is it
It's the worst show ever, bro.
Naomi Watts.
Oh my god! I'm glad you haven't heard of it. I'm so glad. I'm just forget about it. Wipe it from your mind right now. Do a mind meld with somebody and
character names. Okay, so yeah, this is a dramatic show starring Sarah Paulson and Kim Kardashian with Glenn Close and Ed O'Neill. What the fuck? Okay, I'm glad about this.
Yeah,
I have sometimes a little bit. There's a few cultural blind spots. Like I didn't watch the new Adventures of the New Fresh Prince of Bel-Air either.
So I haven't watched this show either, bro. I haven't watched any of it. I just watched the reviews or whatever. Like the guy I'm just not dropping names, but I'm sure you could figure it out. He did every episode of the first season, and as you know, like I can say Price because I said Price before. So
you're allowed. Just like policy. Drop names if you're going to say something positive. If you're not going to say something positive, if you feel like you're still compelled to say it, at least don't name the person too bad. Yeah. So
oh well, no, it's positive. So Disparu.
Okay, go ahead.
Disparu.
Praise is allowed.
Yeah, okay. So he did the first season of All's Fair, and then he's actually helping Price right now get through his Star Trek Academy because he understands how difficult that is to get through.
Can you help me too? Disparu, sir, please help me.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Help me, Disparu. Yeah. Help me, sir.
Okay, help Teague first, and then me.
Well, no, help Price first, but I mean, I think I could use some help too. Okay, Krimwan needs to bust out of here. Let's just let Krimwan say his goodbyes. I'm sure he wants to cuck me or whatever the word might be when whatever he's going to do.
That went really dark real quick, but okay.
Yeah, here it comes with the HR report in progress. Here we go. Go ahead, Krimwan.
Am I fired?
No.
HR report. Yeah. You put me on the spot. I really don't have a rebuttal to that one, other than I hope you guys enjoy your nights and enjoy your week.
It was nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you as well.
It was great to have you here. You did a great job at the Paramount, and it was a pleasure to have you on. We see Sit-Dan popping in and out. We're going to bring him in a second. All right, Krimwan.
Night all.
Krimwan, see you later.
All right, Krimwan.
There goes Krimwan. And now in the pattern buffer, its intership gaming is very dangerous. Here comes the sci-fi historian. Let's put him up there with his buddy Germ. Germ, it's our pal Sci-Fi Sit-Dan, otherwise known as the sci-fi historian, showing off a new avatar. Let's check it out. That's not bad. Hi, Sit-Dan. Hi, Dan. Can I call you Dan or do I call you historian? What's the new?
I don't know if you got your mic on or
designation.
What's happening?
Historian or historian Dan's fine.
All right, History Dan. It's good to see you, buddy. Sci-fi historian is a cool juxtaposition.
Can you guys hear me?
Congratulations on the rebrand. I hear you. Sit-Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. History Dan. Meet Headcase. History Dan.
Hello, History. That's me. Hello, Headcase.
Yeah, that's the best.
And hello, Germ. Nice to see you again.
Testing.
No, you're right.
We can hear you, Headcase.
Does Headcase not hear us? Is that what it is?
That might be it.
You may want to recheck your. You may want to recheck your.
Do you hear us now? Did that fix it? Because we did hear you.
Oh, for some reason I can't hear you guys, but I'll just try to figure it out on my end.
No problem. I'm going to put something in the private chat. Oh.
So, are you guys still talking about Are you guys still talking about Starfleet Academy, or are you guys changing it to another subject?
No, Starfleet Academy is still very much on the table.
Are you guys still talking about Starfleet Academy, or are you guys changing it to another subject?
No, we're getting feedback from somebody.
No, Starfleet Academy is still very much on the table.
Hey, you could hear me. Do you hear an echo?
Yes, we hear an echo.
Yes, we did hear the echo.
You could hear me. Do you hear an echo?
Ooh, I heard it again.
Okay.
We'll try to figure that out.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, cool. So you found the private chat. We can do, if you have like specific questions, ask them in the chat, and we can try to coach you to get the sound back and fix it. If you have no earbuds, the echo seems to be one of the things that comes with it. Because what happens is when it buffers and plays back through your speakers again, and then plays back to the microphone, it creates the delay. Each of those nanoseconds plus the buffer time there and back expands the delay. Did I explain that right, John?
Pretty much, yeah.
For once, I was correct technically. Put this date down in your calendar. Today is a great day. What do you have on your mind about Starfleet Academy, says Dan? I can't wait to hear this.
I haven't seen it, but I have seen the reviews. It's basically a teen soap opera drama, from what I hear now.
If you have the choice, don't watch any of the episodes.
It might not be
too new to Star Trek.
It might it would damage your view of Star Trek overall, which is what it's intended to do. It's $10 million an episode.
Yeah, and for what some reviewers are calling it's called Special Needs Academy.
They're all intellectually challenged. There's something wrong with everybody at Starfleet Academy. Everyone's a fucking asshole. They're doing a disservice to neurodivergent people. I have to turn the banner off because Teags is no longer deployed. And guys, we have an appeal here. You know what? If we get 30 likes, that really helps. And the other question is this one: do you have your notifications on? Oh, turn on. Do you have your notifications on, friends? Friends, these notifications. I don't break the speed limit. When we stream, you get 1.5 an hour before I go on, and one when I go on. When I make a member post, get one. We try to stay away from too many channel posts because that turns on the light as well. They only let you do it 3 times a day. So I try to only do it on days when I'm going to be on and intersperse it and not overwhelm people because God knows that can drive you crazy.
And you guys were talking about All's Fair a few minutes ago too, and I haven't seen that show, but from what I hear, it's the worst lawyer show featuring Kim Kardashian that just wants to look good and wanted to be a lawyer in real life but couldn't, and so she developed this show to be a lawyer.
Okay.
The second you said Kim Kardashian, I was out. We all saw what Kim did to Kanye, so best to stay away.
The idea that Kanye's attempting some kind of comeback where he's trying to rebrand himself.
As what?
Someone who's recovering from your bipolar disorder. That's his new thing, is that he's the biggest victim of Kanye, was Kanye.
Yeah, he went full on Uncle something from Germany off a few years ago. Now he's trying to recover from that.
I see what's
going on with Kardashians due to a halfway sane human being. No. He was sort of crazy before, but once he married Kim, sanity, prosperity, hope all went out the window for him.
All reason went away. Although he was being an asshole ahead of time. Didn't the Taylor Swift thing happen ahead of time? Although it's hard to consider her a victim. And how great is it that she won't be at the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, yeah, NFL's free of her now.
They're probably bummed about it. They're probably what do you think, the Patriots guy will be set up with somebody? It's like, we're going to straighten out Billie Eilish, sir.
You can't straighten that out.
And to make matters worse, from what I hear, All Spirit is renewed for season 2.
What's happening? The head case has been happening all week. He couldn't hear us, but we could hear him. He's backstage. So I muted you for a moment. If you eject and return head case, I will be able to restore you. I'm going to put that in the private chat as well because I don't know if you hear me. Okay, so that's the solution: eject and return. Guys, StreamYards is what it is. It's the best software that you can get for this. It's the only one that's going to not eventually kill your computer. And we'll have Headcase back in a minute. Anyone else who wants to join us, hopefully StreamYards will cooperate. If not, we have a couple of tricks up our sleeve to fix it. But all the other alternatives, when they rolled out the price like a year and a couple of months ago, was everyone tried it because the price hike was absurd. And when we tried it, we found out certain uncomfortable truths, like the other alternatives weren't so great and made this look good. They did a real good analysis of their competition, didn't they, Jerm?
Yeah, it's maybe the worst way to stream on the internet, but it's the only way to stream on the internet.
It's the only reliable way, because here's what happens. And Headcase has returned. Let me beam him back to the bridge. It's the only way to do it without destroying your resources. Can you hear me now? Headcase, are you able to hear us? Not a good sign. Looks like we'll get a private chat in a moment. Guys, what can I tell you? There's also sometimes your devices can do it. I do think this is closer to a StreamYards problem. We've seen this going on for a while. At any rate, one of the other things we had is, did anyone know this one? Reactions are key. How do people feel about this Rambo reboot that's coming out next year? Or maybe later this year?
Well, considering how Stallone is way too old for it now, they better cast a damn good actor.
John Santana? It's not John Cena. His name's like John Santana. Yeah. I couldn't really remember the name. They talked about it earlier on Mr. Brown. And also Starfleet Academy's in a terrible place.
Who's writing the script for this new Rambo movie to give us a little taste of this writer? And what
I'll find out in a minute.
And what the record is, so we could try to get a general idea of what this movie could be about, judging on what the writer's filmography is.
I'm asking
Noel Centineo. It's a young Rambo, more connected to the original book.
Is he in the war? Does he go to the war?
Oh, they're currently shooting in Bangkok, Thailand.
Where one night is amazing.
Yeah, you can get a dozen different VD. It's set to cover his time in Vietnam and military in general, and immediately after coming home.
Okay.
Expected release in sometime in 2027.
All right. So a little further off than we thought, but okay, we'll see that movie. And I don't know, some people were saying they were thinking that possibly the guy who did it was okay. Did he do the Sisu movie? John Rambo, a prequel. Title is John Rambo, origin story. Star Noah Centineo. Known for All the Boys I've Loved Before? The Recruit, and the upcoming Street Fighter adaptation. Well, I like those roles. This is a recasting. Sylvester Stallone is not starring, and there's no indication he will appear. Director Jalmari Helander, known for the action film Sisu. Oh, people like Sisu. And that had a great trailer. I didn't see it. Did anyone here see Sisu?
No, but judging from this guy's picture, not very promising.
And if it is indeed a prequel, then Sylvester Stallone is stuck playing John Rambo until he's dead.
He looks to be, he's a fair bit taller than Stallone at 6'1".
Yeah.
30 years old.
That PTSD, he really shrinks you.
Judging from the picture, he's Greek.
Oh, God. So it's not even faithful to us. He doesn't look, well, Sylvester Stallone kind of is Italian, Southern European looking. Maybe it's acceptable. Head case, how's your mic working now?
That would be a no.
Too bad. We tried. I'm sorry. We'll leave the mic open and we'll see if it recovers.
Have any of you read the Rambo book? Does it say in the book what Rambo's ethnicity is?
I've never read the Rambo book.
I read that.
It might be accurate.
30 years ago.
And you don't remember it, like off the top of your head, Germ?
The book's kind of a drag.
It's one of
the book is
books,
much
right?
more related to the original cut of Rambo than what we actually saw. And we know it for a fact, Stallone tried to buy back the original cut of First Blood so no one could ever see it.
Wow.
Because he thought it was that bad.
You know, it sounds like with this recasting and everything else, you know?
So controversial. Sir.
Yeah,
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
And maybe even Drake.
They don't get too accurate because in the end of that book, John Rambo dies.
Wow. Dare you? That would be. We don't expect that. It's not what would succeed. That's not cinematic Rambo. It's hard to say. Cinematic Rambo comes first. I don't know if you want to make a source material Rambo or if that's even like a legitimate thing to do anymore. The Rambo thing has been done and done to death and even ended fairly well with that last movie, which also I think was called John. There's been a John Rambo movie before. They've used every variant of this. What else could they have called it? Private John Rambo?
I believe the last one was Last Blood. John Rambo was the one before that.
But we've used his name before.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
There you go.
Oh, holy shit. Wow. I didn't have to get out after all. Yeah, man. I started seeing Rambo movies look sad like 4 movies ago.
Yeah. There's like a drop off in the middle there, and then we had like a couple of good ones, and then like I don't know what happened. The last one I saw was the Last Blood one, where he's back in Thailand and he's trying to live like a simple life and gets drawn back into it, and for whatever reason he was actually pretty good, that movie. I enjoyed that movie.
So hey Teague, just in case you're wondering, just in my case. What I had to do is I had to just completely get rid of my Bluetooth headphones. So I'm literally just talking on my phone now.
That's difficult.
That seemed to fix it.
The way to do that is when you're in the lobby for the studio before you come in, there's a picture of a gear. You click that gear and there's like a way to check your audio source and your microphone, and that's where you go and try to get that fixed. Sometimes that'll work there. But check this out. Someone posted this on X. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah. And it shows that green, I'll let you go here. That green leveler that goes up and down and shows you your mic level. Everything was working right. But anyway, I tried a bunch of things and then I just finally just put my headphones away and then you guys popped right back on. There you go.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the Bluetooth is weird. And I've heard the Bluetooth was weird in Windows 10 and 11 builds on certain products. Just like something about the way they did it. So check this out. I turned off the music so we won't get the music strike. Hopefully this isn't on YouTube so I won't get in trouble. It's 10 seconds long, so I can stop it in the middle to sort of indemnify us. But check this out. This is Midtown. This is Manhattan. Now,
Great job, dummy.
Granted, this is a skyscraper, and we're talking like this could put that much garbage in one day, but it's supposed to be hauled away, and this is no longer one day's garbage. It's a couple of days. They missed like garbage pickup days all across the city. The bike lane is plowed out, so you can get yourself freaking killed.
Are they on strike?
One indication would be either the mayor doesn't know what he's doing. A second indication might be that this is a demonstration by the people who run the city, showing Ma'am Dammy who's really in charge and getting him in line so he doesn't try to fuck with them. They're making a statement early by saying, like, this. But by the way, this has sent disapproval tumbling, and the damage won't be accessible for a week. This has cost people governorships and rising up to higher offices. Then this has cost people runs for president in New York City. This is how New Yorkers who don't like a mayor act. When the city unions don't like you, this can happen. But Jerem has speculated that this could also be either some kind of graft or some kind of just communist lack of desire, like maybe corruption. Because you've had several administrations of this type in a row.
Yeah, we currently have someone named Katie Wilson, mayor over here, and she is just as incompetent as Mandami.
I've never seen you speak to her or be in any way mean.
She's not on X.
That's why I'm somewhat wondering if you were hallucinating. Yeah, Jerem is a very he has a. You have to start using your freedom of speech.
I spend most of my time yelling at the two senators from this state.
Holy shit!
Several names that can't be repeated on YouTube.
I have to grok this. There's something on X about looks like somebody's Nest cam was on when somebody settled a beef, and it's just like a neighborhood as messed up as you'd expect, and there's like a lot of gunplay, and it's a tight loop of only 8 seconds. And so as I'm able to absorb it, the one thing I kept saying is, how can this be real? These people are just not backing off from this gunplay, but it's a loop. Let me see something. It's from 2025. Multiple assailants fired over 100 rounds in seconds, killing 3 and wounding 9. Yeah, I'm not putting that on. I'm not sharing that from X. Fuck that. It's pretty horrible to see.
Chicago every Friday.
Yeah, and if you did, your channel would be taken down real fast.
Yeah, because there's like moment of death and a lot of firing.
That's been happening in Portland too. In Portland, there's been there's actually I don't really know how to put stuff up, but if you were to look it up, you would see that they've been kind of trying to push a lot of this gunfire and ICE stuff and everything under the rug as much as they can. It's all over the news. But the corruptness of some of the cities they're saying that they're not allowing, ICE to do their job or they're not going to cooperate and everything, but they are. I know this is controversial with the ICE thing, but the police really are. They are cooperating. As a matter of fact, they're doing what they're being told to do by these people. So,
I just don't know. I can't speak what's going on there. I do know that in a related story, Nod Mellon was running yesterday for this one, but I asked Grok some questions about it rather than try to gather the news. I didn't have time to run down the footnotes, so it's always possible this is an AI hallucination. But when I ran it by Grok again, it was consistent. Germ, did you hear that 2 judges and a magistrate refused to sign off on the arrest warrant?
Yeah.
That
very
maybe they wrote the.
On that.
They have written. Go ahead.
I know at least one of the judges refused to give reason. They just outright said, "I refuse to go through with this."
Is that true? If so, interesting. I know another one just said that this was wrapped up with too many constitutional issues, I think they said. But what happened was then a third guy agreed with the 2 of them saying, like, just let it go. So they arrested him anyway. I don't know if they ever found.
They went to a grand jury to get him indicted.
All right.
So who did they arrest?
The
guy
who got Don Lemon.
Okay.
He's out already. Here's the thing: with that much legal hesitation, it'll be interesting to see how that trial turns out. This was something that I was afraid of would happen with Mamdani when Trump promised on July 1st, 2025. Jerm, do you think I'm ever going to let that go? To arrest Mamdani if he won. Jerm, do you think I'm ever going to let that go?
No, you're going to hang on to that little delusion for probably the rest of your life.
He said it. He did say it. But Mamdami's pretty small and pretty good at the bullshitting. But what can I tell you? We were stuck with him. He can't get the streets cleaned off. It's icy as shit everywhere, and someone's going to have to end up sliding in front of the subway before it gets taken care of. But because of the jurist, I mean, the charges against him read pretty bad. If the grand jury indicted him, maybe they'll be able to pull it off. The hesitation by those judges tell me that he might beat it. This is what I'm afraid of. I thought Mamdani would get arrested and have this happen with charges that might not be able to stick.
Me too.
But now it looks like there's a possibility that if Don Lemon beats these charges, he will look like a martyr to all the wrong people, and he will just keep on causing problems and more mischief, and we might accidentally have minted a guy who I think might be retarded into a hero.
We created a monster.
Dershowitz has said that he's going to get off on these charges. They're not strong enough to convict.
They're also counter-constitutional in some ways. His defense are, at least. Well, his defense is that he followed them in there, and the evidence tying him to being an organizer is what turned people off. I think it's circumstantial.
The evidence that ties him to be an organizer, he broadcasts on YouTube himself.
All right, so we'll see if that holds up in a law, but certainly
it depends on. It's going to depend on if he has a jury trial or not, and who the judge is.
There could be an en blanc decision by a bunch of judges. My impression is that he gets strongly admonished, and then they strongly admonish the people for writing the charges poorly, because this has happened before. Maybe Giuliani advised on the writing of the charges. We have seen Trump stuff be on the legal front. We've seen that he has had consistent problems getting documents written in a way that passes legal muster. No standing means I can't understand it, which makes sense when you think of Giuliani as the source. At this point, there's no cleaning that one off.
Is he still alive? Holy shit.
We haven't seen him in a little bit. I don't know. I mean, let me go over on the couch and poke him. He came over here a couple of weeks ago with a bottle of bourbon, and he hasn't moved since.
I figured he was dead already. You drank him to death, Teague.
What can you do? It was his own choice. I would also say that this time around, at least Trump did not hire the Jets coach. I'm sorry, the Jets owner. And wow, did that ever go great? He ended up being on the Epstein list as well as the coach. The owner of. There was like 3 NFL guys on there. Who was the other one? The Giants, both New York football owners. Sure.
We had those guys. We had Robert Kraft.
Wasn't there a basketball player?
Bob Kraft.
I mean, several basketball players.
Yeah.
We had Bill Gates, which we all heard of before. Wow, the stuff they accused Bill Gates of, that is... I knew he was a monster before, but damn.
I mean, if you're Bill Gates, like, why the heck are you doing this? Like, you don't need the money. You don't need the power. You don't need anything. You've got everything.
It's for ego, and he's a semi-nihilist.
Yeah, narcissist.
Any worships some goat-headed monster.
He does worship like making profits, at least, in a non-religious sort of way. Like whether or not he's fallen to the cult of Mammon, that's anybody's guess. But I think the deal is that by the time he had developed this terrible lifestyle, and believe me, in 100 years, people are going to talk about this weirdo like he was Aleister Crowley. But I think by the time he had developed his horrific life, he starts compromising a lot of people. And there's going to be no way to know who was compromised. And just like all of a sudden they found themselves on Hell Island. And he's like, I got pictures of you here, motherfucker. You're going to do what I say. And how many people like went down there to do terrible stuff. It's going to be hard to tell them apart. And there's going to be people who got hoodwinked mixed in with people who were dirty. So say we all.
I mean, doesn't he have ties to Epstein too? Am I wrong?
He has.
That's where he did all those horrible stuff.
Yeah, so he got they were in cahoots together. They were like sitting there rubbing their hands together. We were like, oh, we got so and so, like he's under our control now from forever.
Opinions. It's opinions, folks. But yeah, possible.
Here's something that's not an opinion.
You should notice
Bill Gates is the third largest landowner in the United States, including the U.S. government.
Yeah, but he doesn't own that much land. He may be the third largest landowner, but by volume, he doesn't own that much.
Yeah, he's distant third.
And the other thing you don't hear...
It's considerable, though.
You don't... Considerable. Yeah, here's the other thing you don't hear talked about, and that is his ranch out in New Mexico. That is Epstein's ranch, because he had two operations going. He had one for the East Coast, which was, of course, the island. And then he had one for everyone else, which was in New Mexico. And the New Mexico one, I've told you this before in private, Teague, that one's far more dangerous.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's not, because it's in the middle of nowhere. And it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's right off.
I mean, New Mexico is.
It's off the I-40. You can find it on Google. Okay. It's about an hour's drive from the state legislature in Santa Fe. It's an hour's drive from Sandia National Lab, which has part of our control of our nuclear production capability, nuclear weapons production. It's about 2 hours drive from Los Alamos, which also has a hand in our nuclear weapons development. It's about 3 hours drive from White Sands, which is another thing. It has big ramifications for national security, which is why I think nobody talks about it.
So I don't really understand. I don't really get.
I like Headcase's original point that while it wasn't in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico is actually in the middle of nowhere. I thought that was kind of a pretty funny point. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to do. But what were you saying? You were saying I'm interested now because I'm a dummy when it comes to this stuff, and you've obviously done your research with where things are. What do you think that he has planned, or what you think maybe would be his plan to have everything so close to those places?
It's pretty obvious. It was the same thing with the island. It was an intelligence gathering operation, amongst others, and a blackmail operation.
Well, his ultimate goal is
if you
have you seen the Fallout series?
Look, if you compromise people that have national security clearances, okay.
Oh.
All right.
I get it now. That's actually kind of smart and fucked up at the same time.
Yeah, I think he was Putin's dude.
Okay. Keep in mind that one of the former governors of New Mexico, who was also the Secretary of State under Bill Clinton, Bill Richardson, had participated allegedly at events at Zorro Ranch. Okay.
We figured it would be more like Keith Richards than Bill Richardson, but I remember Bill Richardson.
Yeah, I can tell you that the state of New Mexico and the county where that particular ranch is located, it all went real quiet. Went real quiet.
Compared to Bill Richardson, Keith Richards is a little choir boy, Teague.
Radioactive. How far is Bill Gates' assets from Roswell, New Mexico, for him to get to the mothership to leave this planet?
You tell me.
I don't know.
Look, the ranch that Epstein owned, about the time that all this news broke back in 2019 or so, they sanitized that place just like they did the island. It changed ownership, and then a lot of the details that you can see from overhead imagery on Google Maps, they modified it. So something's gone on there. Something's definitely gone on there.
Does Bill Gates have control over Google Maps?
The mandatory
Google Maps. Google Maps is not owned by Microsoft or anything to do with Bill Gates Foundation. What it is owned by Google. Look, the Google Corporation was founded by Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Okay, and both of those two guys got their start in Silicon Valley, and this was in the mid to late 90s when they started, about the same time that a certain three-letter organization was doing a lot of investment through their kind of semi-nonprofit organization known as Incutel. They funded a lot of these things. That's how these companies all got started.
We should have a law, obviously, right? Everybody probably would agree with this statement, I hope. but once you have, like, you know, that kind of money, you got like Elon Musk money, Bill Gates money, you can't ever be a part of politics. You're barred from any type of congressional seat or anything like that. Just for the for the little people.
I don't know if we should do that, because what if there's like a really gifted guy like a Teddy Roosevelt or something like that out there? You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but you know, I just would throw this out there too. Is that
I would have disqualified.
Do you want all these millionaires, you know, having access to our politics and everything, even though they already do? I don't like it. Almost every time, it doesn't matter what side they're on. When they're just, you know, just speaking their politics on the red carpet and stuff, I don't care. Fuck you. Shut up and take your money and make your movies. I don't care what you think about my everyday life and how to make my everyday life better, when it's not going to help anybody but you and the people you're, you know, cahoots with.
Oh God, Gene Carl Stanton just went on a crazy rant. Did anyone hear that? It was on film clip.
I didn't.
Say again. Who went on a crazy rant?
Mark Gideon.
Oh, Esposito.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Gene Carl Stanton's a Yankee. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gene Carl Stanton is a Yankee.
I will say this, case, if the law is passed, the one you're thinking of, the rich people will find a way around that. They'll find alternative means to donate to their puppet politicians to get it appealed.
You're absolutely right. I completely agree.
And on top of that, I would trust them more than I trust the guy who made millions in the private sector, no matter how it was, compared to someone who made millions in the public sector just by being a senator.
Well, and that's what I was saying, is that so Bill Gates isn't, and Elon Musk isn't, and you know what I'm saying, Jeff Bezos isn't. Is that these guys are not part of they're not Sydney Sweeney and she made her way up and now she wants to become a senator or something like that. We'd be like, fuck yeah, do it, you know, like, but that's not the same case.
You know what? I'm thinking we could get a win-win here for everybody. Jerm, what do you think? You want You want like a cap on. Some people want age caps. Some people want term limits. What do you think of this? We could get both if we give it a wealth cap.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, wealth cap.
How about this though? Like it's like if your wealth increases by more than like a certain percentage over the time that you're in office with no explanation.
Yeah, that can work.
Yeah, like
If
for
you show
example,
up a millionaire.
I prefer the volcano sacrifice method. Every 2 years, change the government. Every 4 years, the president just leads a conga line of the House and Senate, and we sacrifice all of them to the volcano god.
That would be fun to watch on TV, and we would be covering that instead of like there is like, and no one knows which one it is. Some fucking award show on tonight. But you know what? We're just glad you guys chose us, and we're so happy you're out there. Let's take a look at the chat again and see who's out there. We still got Sig Lemon Pie is out there. I know I said hello to Lemon in the chat. I don't know if I spoke hello. John, hello. Alleged mayor connected to Steinep. Yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, I don't think if your parents knew this guy or whatever, it has anything to do with it. Like, if you look at the other three candidates in that election, anybody was going to win. And like the thing is, there had to be really big money behind him or something like that because, and we'll find out, because the reason why AOC became a congressperson from New York was because it costs more to run for city government than it does to run for federal government around here.
Is that voluptuous black woman that Trump keeps trying to get?
That would be the bony Latina.
Oh, okay. Well, and then she is what? She's the. What's her office?
Her name is AOC, but I pronounce it so that she sounds more Star Trek. I call her AOC. Hey, Tony. Vox Track. You know, Vox Tech. Vox was like in the title of last week's Star Trek episode. It means voice in Latin.
Yeah. Yeah, Vox.
That last
I have an old Digitech.
Yeah,
I was just saying I have an old never mind.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you get it, echoing and stuff. Yeah, I was just gonna say that in the 80s, there was lots of everything that had to do with vocals was getting put through these pedals, and so TC Helicon is one of them. And it's like one of the biggest ones. Anyway, I always, every time I see Vox Tech, I always think of my Digitech Voxelizer, and it's basically like auto tune before auto tune was a thing, but it's not actually auto tune. It's interesting though that that word has stuck around. I love the word Vox.
Yeah,
I know, boring shit.
Hey, Bono's last name, allegedly, right?
Is it? Did he change it?
Yeah, whatever his real name is, he calls himself Bono Vox, which is Latin for good voice.
I did not know that. First hearing that. Interesting.
I think we all knew the Edge's real name wasn't the Edge. Hey guys, has you heard? Stop me if you heard this one before. What's the difference between God and Bono?
You'd have to ask him.
God doesn't go around telling people he's Bono. The South Park guys got him good. That satire with yeah. Hello. That satire really took him down several pegs. YouTube has not really recovered from being South Parkized.
I'm not shit.
Yeah, Tony, there's passes at the member post. If you want to jump on. Be great to see you. We can fix boring. I don't know. So it depends. You can undo boring. Maybe you can rewrite boring. I don't know how fixable it is. It's right on the cusp of semi-unfixable. Boring is the worst thing that media can be. New Trek, Star Trek is really boring. That outrageous stuff, they let it percolate for so long. Go ahead, Dan.
Boring and forgettable is the two main things you don't want.
Like, it's weird. The only parts that aren't forgettable are the parts that are seared in my head. Jeremy, what do you think about that one?
I think Germ stepped away from his mic for a few minutes, unless he muted himself by accident.
Or unless what happened to me happened to him.
No, I'm just a little busy with a gorilla. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to step away from here. It's been a fun stream. Good to meet everybody new.
It's nice to meet you.
Popping by, buddy. It was great to see you. You do a great job. I guess I'll see you Tuesday.
And I'll be back tomorrow for Rebirth of Mothra on my channel.
I'll be around for that one. Give me a pass if you need a co-host, and I'll see you later, buddy. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Germ.
Peace.
We got about, I don't know, half hour tops left in this. I know last night's marathon. I'm gonna say right now, like, I did not realize that crossing the streams would be so bad. And, like, Radioactive, you're on the Powerline panel. Your audience always in the chat for the Star Trek show, and you're an alternate now on that one. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that when it hits like 3.5 hours and gets unwieldy like that, do we commit to finish the episode, or do we just like pick it up next week in the middle?
I didn't have a problem with last night, to be honest, but that's just me. But I'm also I'll also be fair with you, Teague. I'm also doing other things. I'm not just watching the show.
I would expect a lot of our audience is also playing video games. There's a lot more people out there than read up on the concurrence, because I think a lot of people open up another tab and start tweeting away or whatever they might be doing. And, you know, if you watch the tab open for a little while, that is something that we can only ask as a favor, but it does help our analytics.
As long as there isn't something, the funny business going on in the chat like we've had in the past, then.
Did you guys
lucky that way?
Yeah.
Did you guys actually have somebody pulling their pants down on the stream? Because I think T told me that you did.
There was an incident about
a year more serious.
Yeah, there was something more serious than that, but that was about a year.
Oh, really? That's terrible.
Yeah,
well,
we
don't need to go into the details of that.
I deleted it, but it was a simulated thing, so we probably still would have been okay, but it was weird.
Yeah.
Who wants to?
Teags actually had some attacks on his channel, so that's what I was referencing.
Why? Yeah, what the hell's wrong with people?
Well, we don't want to go into details.
There's people out there. You know, here's the thing. If you want to be on YouTube, it can be a lot of fun. And January has been nothing but fun with you guys and with my panelists and with my community. I love you all, and every one of you subs. You guys are great, and it's been a great synergistic experience. Maybe this year we could build and get a little kinetic energy going and try to like charge things up by turning on notifications. Notifications are really important. I have not pushed that, so it takes a little longer for people to show up for my show. And also, when you see like a post, if you don't have time to actually read the post, if you could take a moment to just like it, that'll bring it back to you later. And at that point, you know, you don't have to worry quite as much about like not seeing it. But the member posts are slightly important.
So just so you know, my experience with this today was, so I was like, oh, he's going to do another member stream. I really want to get on that. So I went over my YouTube app and I told it to notify me. It didn't notify me. It didn't notify me at all. I set a timer too because I wanted to be on the show. So I was like, all right, I'll just make sure. Yeah, never notified me, and the alarm is what saved me.
Thank God. I'm glad you're here. And yeah, that's a consistent YouTube problem. Turning on notifications will help, but not eliminate it. But like, if notifications aren't turned on, there's 0% chance that they do it. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate it. The other goal is on all streams to try to like exceed 30 likes. And I never thought the weekday talk show would start getting bigger than the weekend Star Trek shows. This is what happens. On the weekends, we do the Star Trek show because that's when the panel can get together. It's a real good, immersive Star Trek experience, in my opinion. I could have done a better job this week time managing and utilizing my panel. I was a little overwhelmed. I bit off more than I could chew. I apologize. You know what, guys? You're out there long enough. You're going to have some shows that are better than others. I don't think it was unacceptable, but it wasn't. When I sent you my show, I didn't send you my best. That's all I can say. I'm sorry.
No, man, quit apologizing. Your show's good, dude. This is interesting talk. We're just broing out. Everything's fine, and you show up when you're supposed to. And you're not the only one that's ever a couple minutes late. Almost every stream that I've been watching lately it's like 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in sometimes.
There have been a whole bunch of new technical problems and interfaces looking different when we show up going on. A lot that has put some confusion into doing live streams. And there's been, just ongoing problems, just absolute problems and software fails from YouTube. And, what are you going to do? It's on the StreamYard side of things. So, again, we were talking about this. It's just choose your poison with the streaming software. EVMux isn't there yet. It's just not there yet.
I asked,
but you can't use avatars there. It's not there yet. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I asked around a couple of people and they were like saying Rumble, Rumble, Rumble. But then when I got this notification, there was really no way for me to figure out how to open it in Rumble. So I just had to go with
our last Rumble attempt just blew up on the pad, as I like to say. A lot of times what happens is if you don't tie Rumble in within a certain amount of hours, the code goes bad and it can't interface with your computer and it starts getting grumpy. And it seems like if you don't do things in a perfect sequence of operations, that Rumble's just always going to give you a problem. So the last few attempts at Rumble, just like they didn't go off. It's boom, like that was it. It was the end of the Rumble.
I've never been able to use it. Every single time I've never been able to use it. Go ahead.
It has a functionality issue. A lot of people, the one thing they do have is YouTube makes a lot of people really fucking mad. Okay, YouTube makes a lot of people really fucking mad. When it comes to Rumble's appeal, they're finally like they introduce a few upgrades every year, but then they wonk out and they don't know what they're doing and they're a mess. They don't know what they're doing. But what's funny is I have not joined their creator program because it's bullshit. I'm not paying them $10 a month to be paid. That's crazy. And I counted on the paint sprayers versus Henry Ford 1926 to bring me out on top. That says you're not allowed to charge people to get their own paychecks. So I counted on that civil court, that Supreme Court decision from way back when. I counted on that holding up, and I didn't join Rumble. And they changed their streaming from 30 hours a month on their studio, which is a lot.
Yeah.
6 hours a day. I'm sorry, an hour a day. Or 6 hours a week. They changed that to 1 hour a month. So that was fine. And apparently you do not have to join. I got I finally got, for the third time in 3 years of monetization and 4 on Rumble, I got my third, or maybe this is my fourth Rumble payday. I finally hit the $50. They send it to you as soon as you hit it. Like Rumble's. I thought I would have. They're like, give us your tax information, give us your phone number, give us your driver's license, and I'm like, you know what? I'll get around to it, and it just showed up.
So Sig Valdesen, number 1 on our chat, says, LOL, Yellow Flash is 30 to 40 minutes late at times. I've never heard of Yellow Flash.
Yellow Flash is a really good YouTuber. What he does is he takes the news, we have done Yellow Flash like segments here, especially when we cover Star Trek news. He'll pull up the actual article. He'll highlight parts of it at a time. He'll make his points. He'll talk about what's going on, and usually he'll speak very carefully with like he understands the law. He read up on it, or he is actually maybe a lawyer and just not telling people. He knows what he's doing, in my opinion, and he talks perfectly for that medium. And he ends up, doing Hollywood stuff. And he made his bones with Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. That was what really got him going. I had been a fan before that. He's real good. Yellow Flash is like an informational and opinion YouTuber. My favorite person doing stuff like that, though, and Flash doesn't go on camera. My favorite person who does that is, does anyone else but me like Meme Copium?
You cut out there, buddy.
Does anyone but me like a YouTuber called Meme Copium? Have you guys heard of him?
I haven't.
Is it pretty popular or is he pretty obscure though?
He's pretty popular. Meme Copium is this. He's the guy who keeps discovering out of their mind people in Asia who do the outrage YouTubing. Vox, hello.
Is it like rage, hate rage viewing?
Hello.
Are you there?
Please wait while we upload your Vox Tech device.
Oh.
We are currently installing our software. Give us just a few moments. Did you know that the hammerhead is the most interesting type of shark in the world?
No.
Yeah, because he gets hammered.
Trust us with your entertainment. And here I am, bitches. Hi, what's going on? Lovely, ain't it?
Hey, how you doing, Vox? AKA Tony.
Living the dreaming to live. Figured I'd swing by.
Are you doing that voice, or is there any tech in there?
There's a lot of tech in there, but if you really want that removed, I can make it cringier.
No, you have the capacity to sound that different, so
yeah.
I heard your voice in there, but like I've been at this a long time, so I had a little bit of a feeling that just a bit.
I like the whole has-been hotel, vibe.
Why, thank you. Unlike that radio fucker, I can make this 3D in 3, 2. What up, bitches?
Man, I'm getting a Struck of Iron vibe from you.
Yeah, I know. It's almost as if we got the production quality of a Stark of Iron show.
Hey, Has Been Hotel has some good songs. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a really big fan of the show, but I watched the first season. There's some good songs on there.
Yeah, my favorite's Brighter from season 2. You should check it out. Stars yours truly.
Is this a contest show? What is Has Been Hotel?
That's where we get
oh my god.
Fucker. You remember the radio fucker? Yeah.
Oh, I know that guy, yeah. But I know him from your show. I was thinking Has Been Hotel would be something like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vince Neil. Ladies and gentlemen, David Lee Roth. Whoa, did David Lee Roth sound horrible? Did you see that stuff? Did anyone see that stuff on YouTube this week and on X?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody recorded him live, and it was disgraceful. Just, Dave, learn how to play an instrument. Stop singing. It's not working out. It's not working out at all.
Oh, I did see that. I know what you're talking about now.
Oh, it's bad, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how bad it was. And I felt bad for Dave in a way. I'm like, don't you? What made you do this? Did they throw that much money at you?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
I was glad I saw what I was told was the last meaningfully good Van Halen tour in 2012, where he was kind of tried a lot more and did a better job.
Did you see Axl Rose singing for AC/DC?
That worked better than
that's all
Axl Rose. I saw Axl Rose sing for AC/DC a few years ago, not live, but when I saw it, he was able to cover it, and I realized that he was the perfect stand-in for Brian Johnson. The thing that I found to be really interesting was, one, when did Axl Rose become politically active and think he was Roger Waters with this Trump pinata stuff that he's doing? And the other thing would be, how come he sounded so terrible at the Ozzy thing, huh?
Horrible, horrible voice. I couldn't believe it. Blown away about how bad it was. I could do better.
I'm sure we know a few people who could do better.
There's two of them right on the stream, at least or maybe three. You know what? There's a way to fix this a little bit. You get 2-3 women backing you up, take me down to the paradise. And that will give you they'll always be in key because they're professional and Axl Rose just isn't that trained. And you can pull off something, but Axl Rose, just at that Black Sabbath show, not only was he mediocre, but they were bad at their own material. Their best songs were their 2 Black Sabbath covers.
You know what they say about heroes? They innovate, but villains duplicate.
Highly true. The other thing I thought was interesting about that one was with Motley Crue, we had them on the same stage with Metallica for the first time in 35 years. That 34 years, that 1991 Tour to Hell that didn't end until 1994 because of all the things that went wrong. The guy from Metallica got set on fire by mistake because he was so high. Axl Rose got hundreds of people hurt in different arena riots across the world by showing up late or performing like a dick on purpose. And it was just a disaster. And I think from what happened was after that, when the Metallica guy healed up from being chicken fried, he was like, one thing I don't want to do is be like the guys from Guns N' Roses. And we've seen from them, Guns N' Roses has had as many hits as Metallica since then. They only had the big album. The songwriter wants nothing to do with them. And they can't deliver the performance. I would, without liking as many of their songs, I would be much more down for the Metallica show. Guys, around the horn, who would you go see?
Yeah. I was just about to say that Guns N' Roses doesn't hold a candle to Metallica. Not even close.
When I saw Guns N' Roses, I was at the filming of the video for Paradise City, the part where he's wearing the white leather jacket. And while that is not the audio from that show, they were fucking awesome at that show. They were just a little overwhelmed by the fact they were playing an arena for the first time. Now it's old hat for them, but they did put up stiff competition against Aerosmith and Deep Purple when I saw them make that video. But yeah, now it's they're the worst Guns N' Roses cover band. When Slash goes solo with a competent backup band and a singer who can sing, you're in much better shape. And hey, hello, Tucker Martin. Let's bring in the Herku and make the rest of the Klingon Federation weak and feminize it. And change it.
Make them weak, make them gay, make them watch birds.
That's what I was going to say. Put a chick in it and make her gay.
I feel so weird and bad about this, but for a long time now, I've been following 3 different bird watching accounts from Central Park on X, and there's something really relaxing about the wild turkey that managed to survive in New York City. After trying to remove it, the police and the city and traffic control made the decision that the turkey was better off left on its own. It had learned to stay out of traffic, and it was just hanging out, going from public park to public park. And our turkey flies. Our turkey flies 60, 80 feet at a time and can go 40, 50 feet in the air. Astoria, the wild turkey. Google him. He's on X. There's 4 accounts following it. It flew across the fucking river.
The whole river?
Yeah, I thought. The river splits in half around Manhattan.
Okay, I was about to say the white part.
the widest part of the East River is only 1,200 feet. It was able to make it, say, 1,500 feet flying. I wonder if it flew people saw the whole flight, so it made it the whole way without a problem. Turkeys really have to flap the shit out of their wings. They're big fat butterballs.
That is impressive.
Yeah, I was about to say that motherfucker's been working out.
Imagine it's a buff-ass turkey.
No, it was hormones. She went there looking for love. The turkey was looking for male turkeys, so she flew from Astoria to Manhattan. And maybe she was doing it to get away from Ma'am Dammy, but now Ma'am Dammy has moved from Astoria to Manhattan.
Plot thickens.
So do they have like a tag on her then, and they just kind of like GPS and find out where she's at?
No, here there's very few like wild animals, and turkeys are just rare, and it's like they're not really well suited for the city. This one was just smarter, better, and like cooler than the other turkeys. It somehow made its way in, probably from Long Island. It ended up, it's called Astoria. That's the only environment I can think of. It's far more likely it came from Long Island because of where it showed up than if it came from upstate, where there are a lot of wild turkeys. And there are some beautiful birds in New York City, and I'm not talking like, just the chicks that we see walking around the street, where you'll see 5 or 6 women as beautiful as J-Lo in her prime in like 10 minutes. I'm spoiled here, fellas. It's
one of the hottest girls I ever dated. Her whole thing is she wanted to go and become an actress in New York, and she moved to New York. I never heard from her or whatever. But yeah, if she's walking around there, somebody's been watching.
Newsflash: she was actually an immortal and faced him one-on-one on top of Silver Cup Studios. Needless to say, the quickening ended in his favor.
Speaking of which, did anybody see the new trailer? Like, it's just images. Anyone want to comment on it? I found it strangely impossible to... I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was unmuted. Did anyone see the new Highlander trailer and want to speculate on it? I found it to be strangely hard to contextualize. We see immortals, one's dressed for the 1920s World War One-ish, and one's dressed in medieval stuff, and they're facing off in what is clearly a film studio, which is established in the first movie anyway. But it basically looked like they were in their studio and had a costume test and took a picture of them squaring off. The pictures were completely impossible to contextualize, and they've made it to the trailer. This movie is so late that I don't think Russell Crowe is necessary. Henry should have played the older immortal at this point, and get Timothy Chalamet as McLeod, because he'll put them in the seats. Both of them will. One's 40 and one's like 28. It would be fine.
People don't use their brains anymore in Hollywood. I thought you figured that out.
Yeah, there's so many dream teams out there. Like you look at these things and I'll bring this up. I'll just bring it up right now. Like there's they just did another race swap with a white female character, and they gave her the African treatment. I'll look it up here, but yeah, it's just like after all this is nobody listening to us? Are we the only people that we're listening to, like us here in this chat, or other people's videos, Critical Drinker and stuff? Or is nobody listening? We're telling them exactly how to make money, and they just won't do it.
It's pretty clear that people don't seem to be listening to them, so I'm going to have to say you're on to something there.
Yeah, when they're blackmailed by BlackRock, what do you expect?
Yeah,
that could also be going on. Who knows?
It's well known. It's well known that BlackRock has stipulated with their ESG rules that if companies get out of line, then they won't be getting any more investments.
Protection money.
I think one of the reasons why I'm so afraid to talk about BlackRock is because sometimes when we talk about them, I forget that they're not Blackwater, and I'm like, let's not make them too angry, okay?
When I hear
they may have done some weird things, but it's all right, okay? I just want to move on from Blackwater, but yeah, okay, I understand now that it's a different company. I know who BlackRock is. Sorry.
So there's an album out there. I don't know if anybody's heard it, but there's an album by like just various artists called Black Rock, and it's really, really good. So every time somebody says Black Rock, I'm just like, damn it, I really like that album. It's really damn good. Again, check that out if you haven't heard of that. And so like there's so much negative connotation to that name, and it's hard for me when I hear that. Being an aspiring musician, I'm nobody. But like when I like an album, I'm like, damn it, don't throw shade on my shit.
Every time I think of Black Rock, I just think of how gay Hollywood is, All right, line up, folks. It's time for the big black comedy rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe you're dyslexically seeing that R as a C. By the way, we got almost 30 votes here, 28 votes. How did you find the channel? What inspired you to join? The weekday talk show at 11% is actually impressive. Star Trek, 50%. Taylor Sheridan, just 4%. And a lot of you just like are seeing the stream and liking the results. I guess a combination of all the above. And we're really happy to, have you guys on board. And like the wheel keeps turning. We went through our Landman phase. We think we're going to try to cover Marshalls. I don't know how many episodes there are. I'm going to have to check that one out. If it's really excessive because it's network TV, if it's 22 episodes, it might not always go off at the same time every week. It could be tough to cover Marshalls. I don't know how much Sheridan's involved. The Yellowstone spinoff shows are 66, the Madison, and Marshalls, Yellowstone Marshalls. So I don't know what to make of where we're going to go with them, but certainly a lot of interest out there.
So Yellowstone Marshalls is like a new show.
Sorry.
Well, what happened was they couldn't. Yes, no problem. What happened was they couldn't wrap up Yellowstone in a way that made everyone happy. Kevin Costner became really difficult. People had overlapping and complicated contracts.
I heard.
I'm guessing they went to arbitration, and they wanted to try to clear this up. So what ends up happening is Kevin Costner, he's gone. They can't finish the show. They just want him out of there. No one wants to work with him anymore, especially Taylor Sheridan. He probably hates Kevin Costner for fucking that up on him. And so Sheridan does the prequels to take up his time. And while that's going on, the legalities of Yellowstone get sorted out. And what gets sorted out, and this probably happened in arbitration, was, all right, one more season. We've got to preserve any characters we don't agree to get rid of mutually. If anybody has created a character, they get the final say about whether that character gets eliminated from the a few characters are going to get dusted off. So, everybody might have to do this, or you'll have a bad ending. And I heard it was a bad ending and maybe only Kevin Costner died. So every single creator claimed their characters. And in cases of co-created characters, I guess they have a matrix for that, because these things happen in Hollywood all the time. It's like, all right, 18 lines that were written by you were said by this character. However, you wrote their backstory. It's our decision. The character is 51% yours. You own it. But if you use it, you can pay him, and there's all sorts of things. And they've been down this road before in Hollywood. So every writer, as far as I'm able to tell, every writer gets what they contributed, and they're moving on in a semi-coordinated fashion with their own characters and their own show. Some people have Beth Dutton, and they're going to be living in the town near the Yellowstone, maybe in the rundown row of crack houses they built on the edge of the Yellowstone. Thomas Rainwater will figure into a show that has that. Those are Taylor Sheridan's characters. Look for them maybe on 66. The characters that were created by other people, they will show up in the Madison. It has an infusion of new characters. It's Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer. I think they're the descendants of the people from 1923 who go back east. Then there's a 1968 or some show, or 1943, or 1943 coming to Paramount with the Dutton family prequel, yet one more. And so we're not letting go of the Sheridan verse. And I guess the other writers who had rights to characters took what they could, and they spun it into as many shows as they could. No word or idea or prediction as to as one show collapses, will characters get folded into another. But certainly, if one of these shows doesn't make it and you own the other one, maybe you make an offer to buy up a couple of characters. It's like, if the show with Beth Dutton doesn't make it, it goes to another Taylor Sheridan show. But if you're one of the lone wolf guys who made some of just a few characters, if Taylor wants to sell off a couple of people, I'd say it'd be in your best interest to buy him. That's why Yellowstone ended so bad. It had to preserve the characters, set people up for these sequel shows, and divide it up among the creators. Because in the last season, the appellation went from Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone to Yellowstone, co-created by Taylor Sheridan. So something happened legally. I don't know exactly what. But the 4 different shows would seem to show ownership of different characters.
Sounds like Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, I think, did go down a similar road after The Walking Dead just pulled that, like, telescoping back and doing one day from everybody's point of view season one too many times. Rock bottom for me with The Walking Dead was Terminus.
I've never even heard of that. What's Terminus?
There's a whole arc at the beginning with the Fall Society that ends with the end of the Governor, their original bad guy, who was their best bad guy. With the end of the Governor, they lose their fortress, which is a prison that they're holding up in. And
it's a show?
Yeah, The Walking Dead.
There's a show.
Terminus is there is a show called Terminus now.
It's called Cannibal Town.
Wow, I can't believe I haven't heard of this.
In The Walking Dead, there's a season where they go to a place called Terminus. It's a destination in The Walking Dead. There's also a show of the same name, I'm pretty sure. But Terminus is a destination in the world of The Walking Dead. And what it is they jack you and they eat you. So
they take your shit and they have you for dinner.
Exactly. They're so much worse than Negan, who at least just kills you. These guys are absolutely crazy. And the thing that always confused me was there was this weird woman at Terminus who was like putting out like vegetables and beckoning people to come, enjoy the bounty at Terminus. And she was so weird, and there was something oddly familiar about her. And then at the end of every episode, they're like with Denise Crosby, and I'm like, it's going to be great when we finally see her. And in the final episode, this woman who's so weird and Carol, who does the most killing on The Walking Dead, face off. And during the fight, the blonde lady starts screaming, and her voice, she gets past the smoker's voice, and when she starts screaming and yelling, her real Tasha Yar voice came through, and I was like, oh my God, that's Tasha Yar. She's like a size 14. Remember how fit she was? It was surprising. And Carol kills her at the end of the season with Terminus. If anyone knows.
I'm looking up the show, and I'm not seeing it. Terminus with a U.S. TERMINUS.
Terminus.
That's the destination within The Walking Dead, and I believe there's also a show called Terminus. I'm not positive on that. But within The Walking Dead, Terminus is like they spend the whole season going there.
It's part of the original
train tracks.
Comic.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It's just not where I was looking.
We're going to have an argument while we're walking down the train tracks. The pacing of that season was fucking dumb.
Yeah, what happened was they kept moving from one group to another, never integrating everybody into one episode. It was like this episode was just Abraham and those people.
This is before
just Andrew Lincoln.
This is before the newest season of Dixon.
Way before. This is now like
I see.
This is like season 4 of Walking Dead.
It's 2023.
Yeah. Yes, it's not super long ago, but it's a bunch of seasons for them ago. Because
holy shit! Well, thank you for telling me. I'm going to watch them.
Most of them are good.
Stop at season 8. Here's your pro tip if you're going to do a Walking Dead binge. After
no, I don't.
8, fuck off with it.
Dude, I watched I've watched everything Walking Dead. That's why I was saying that it was surprising I hadn't heard of this. I watched every season of everything, and then you guys told me about this, and I'm like, oh wow, yes. And the last few seasons were absolute crap. It was like sludge to get through them, so hard. I was like, what is happening? You're just ruining my whole experience now.
You see Don Corleone over the body of Sonny, and then Sonny just happens to be Negan going, look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah. And you know what? There are some good stories and good performances throughout the Terminus season, depending upon which group of characters you light on that week. But the reason why you probably didn't interrupt your Walking Dead experience is because the only people who seem to die, if I remember, on the way to Terminus are people that we meet on the way to Terminus. So they're only in that season. Everyone who leaves the prison makes it to Terminus, and everyone who makes it to Terminus survives going there.
And
Oh,
remember, this was
oh,
Mikey
I've
Spock's
seen
debut
this.
too. This was
I've
Mikey
seen this
Spock's
because it says.
debut.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead, Radio.
I just all I was saying is this is Mikey Spock's debut in television.
Yes, Sonequa Martin Green is picked up in the people who survived the Terminus season just kind of blend in. She, I believe, is integrated before the Terminus season, but that's where she's really rolled out. Her brother dies, and then she starts walking to Terminus, and that's how she ends up meeting them. Is how I believe it happens.
So
But
Google
passed with our characters earlier on. Sasha is the name of the character in The Walking Dead.
So Google says that it appears as an arc within season 4. So I have seen it. Okay, so it's inside season 4. Okay.
It's everybody's arc. What they do is the first and last episode have a story for the entire group. And what we do is we go from one sub-clan to another subgroup of the original group. The prison gets attacked and overrun, as you know. And when they leave the prison, there's a Walking Dead, the people of Rick Diaspora, after seeing Starfleet Academy, we'll call it that. And they go out on they're wandering. And as they wander to Terminus, some people from earlier storylines meet them on the way there. Some people just give up and head to Terminus or go wandering, and they end up heading to Terminus. Because I believe Sasha isn't the first person she meets the governor, but they never talk about the fact that she knows the governor, and he's the one who sends them out. He's like, get out of here, get away from this town, take weapons with you, and just go. And there's just signs to go to Terminus everywhere.
So here's a little tidbit. Here's a little tidbit that might be interesting to anybody listening. The location for specifically the Terminus within season 4 was located at 793 Windsor Street in Atlanta, Georgia during the day.
That makes sense because Terminus was just a bunch of factory buildings that looked like they were in late 19th century, and there's plenty of those down there. I think Walking Dead had a problem with as far as their seasons and their continuity and getting things done the way they wanted to, because Georgia had that "Don't Say Hey" bill where no one wanted to film there for a little while. And I think they got rid of that and got the film industry back. It was like they needed that film industry.
I think that's interesting, though, right?
Crane in the chat. Good to see you.
Hey, hello to Dan Crane 1. Hell, good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the member stream. We're getting towards 2.5 hours, so I don't know how much longer we're going to be on. I guess we should ask Tony, what's going on with you this week?
Oh, you want me to go ahead and plug? Well, I guess we could.
We might not. This is not an imminent sign of leaving the field, but go ahead and plug.
Oh, sure. Let's see here. We got Starks Thursday Matinee, the variety show before the variety show. With more characters, more parody songs, and more production quality than you can shake a stick at. We'll be having that on Thursday. We got ourselves a regular upload schedule of Skeletor shorts, Alistair dad joke shorts. We're almost on our way to 2,800 subs. And we're almost to our first 250,000th of our second millionth view. So yeah,
oh wow,
pretty large. Yeah,
that was fucking quick.
Yeah,
Shorts will do that, huh?
Yeah, baby.
So you've done what I told you would be a pretty hard nut to crack. You've cracked the 1 million views in shorts. Now, I'm guessing with the 1.25 million means you've cracked the 1 million with the shorts, and now you will actually get paid from shorts. Is that what we're saying?
Our local ad revenue from the last 28 days is, about as much as a $50 super chat's worth after YouTube takes their cut so far. We're doing great.
That's so fucked up. I pulled that off too. I think our strategizing on that one, because Tony and I adopted the same AdSense policy. I just use it slightly differently. Tony and I are friends. We call each other up on the phone, and we always like. I think we're the most two ear to the ground on TOS kind of guys, and we also are very into trying to increase our engagement and our availability to our communities. So and we're friends. And like we came up with a strategy for using the Mars views at certain strategic times in a certain strategic way. And that seems to keep the AdSense money kind of coming in a way that you weren't able to capitalize on before, because AdSense is brutal. Like the AdSense is the commercials that your creators put in there. Someone like Neural Derp really rolls the dice when he makes those great uploads, because he's counting on not live streaming at all and having any super chats. He's counting on YouTube taking 70% of all the ads and selling so many ads with this 4-minute song that people love it. But I would say he has been just hitting one home run after another for the last couple of months. And we got to get Neural Derp back.
I tell you what I've been doing. Characters like this one that are relatively new, I tell you, you just do a vertical stream as one of these guys for a couple hours. Vox of Vox Tech have a 3,200 view stream. It was a vertical only. It lasted for 3 hours, and we picked up 180 subs from it. Anybody can fucking do it.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of like 9 and 1,200 view like vertical streams that went out at the same time as Mars. I've never done vertical only. A dedicated vertical stream is something that's a little bit weird because of the tune-out time, and I know they're throwing me in there with the shorts feed, but you know what? I definitely worth considering it. Like, the thing is, the last night, the last time that both of us were on was last night, I think, or maybe it was Thursday. The thing was, we were holding 20 concurrents and no one had the same people. There was only like 3 or 4 people going back and forth. We've grown in completely different directions, which makes it very easy to be collegial and work together. But also, if Tony, and I were when we do the same things, we strategize so that there's not like Star Trek analysis up against Star Trek analysis, or in our case, 2 analysis shows in the same night. We kind of like he'll do the.
We don't do analysis on my main channel anymore. We're entertainment only.
Yeah, sometimes you do the analysis, though. I never know. You're very mercurial. You're very sensitive to your audience, and from one month to the next, it won't be radical, but you do a lot of experimenting with the shows, and hats off to you. I'm not as experimental. Admiral building for sustainability, Stark building for virility. I have a funny feeling, maybe Stark might hit the 10,000 mark first, although I have a feeling that with all the Star Trek that we're going to have this year, without having to chase virility has come to me. Did anyone think it would last till week 5? Star Trek Academy opened up with a trailer that everyone was all over. It's almost like a feeding frenzy. And
Piranhas in the marsh.
Yeah, there's blood in the water. And what we've seen so far is with the Ellisons hanging out to dry the episode 1 by putting it on YouTube with comments and likes enabled. That's not a Kurtzman move. Then when it got ratioed really fucking bad, it was not boosted up by reverse review bombing. That is something to think of. Dan, they did not come rescue the show. They didn't come rescue their own shows, both Sith Dan and Dan Crane. Dan, they didn't save their show. They didn't come reverse view boost it. They didn't reverse view bomb it, right? Because we've seen things that review bombed up. Third, after leaving it out there long enough with the comments on and the ratio, letting him get double destroyed, they private it with less views than Unification, which has never, ever been public. You just got whipped with your tail tucked between your legs. It usually takes 3 infractions to get fired with cause in the United States. His contract's up. They're slamming the door doubly hard legally. I think the deal is they have heard that Kurtzman is legally a nightmare and that he can stick around. This, to me, if this is to wrest away the book rights and to make sure he can't even get a young adult novel out of this for brand confusion, if we're doing all of this and enduring this, guys, this will be a year of hell with a lot of Kurtzman Trek, But I think that at the end of a long road, forgive the pun, to borrow a phrase, we'll reach the stars again with a Star Trek reboot movie that could or could not be good. That one, not as important as small screen where the franchise was born. I really do think the way that Doomcock is referring to it as the Captain Archer sequel show, that makes sense. Star Trek United, the Captain Archer sequel show, is something that people have an interest in, and it's mainstream CBS is doing it now. So Tony just pitched. I've been on a lot this week. I think I need a day off tomorrow to take in some pop culture, as they say. And then I'm going to go and probably be back on Tuesday night if I can. Maybe we'll get his Phobos in here to get some of his views. We're talking to him. He was filled with great conversational opinions last time we talked to him. And when I heard him on Mr. Brown earlier, he was effusive about a couple of things. And we were talking to him about a couple of things he had some ideas on. Always welcoming other dissenting or agreeing or just, collateral Star Trek stuff. I want to thank Radioactive for being here and Headcase. Thank you so much, as well as Sci-Fi Historian. Sci-Fi, what's going on with you? Tell everybody what's going on with your channel and your branding without getting into more than one or two future shows. Just tell us what's going on with your branding.
Well, for my channel, it's a relatively new channel. I cover different sci-fi franchises of lore, characters, and other stuff. I am going to close out my primary channel, Sci-Fi Sit Down. I'm going to transfer my content to my Sci-Fi Story, which is I'm doing it right now. I'm planning to do my sci-fi live streams on my Historian channel on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And for my co-host, we're going to start the TV show called Defiance. It's a sci-fi show that came out over a decade ago. I've seen the first season. It's an okay show. And I do my live streams usually on Saturdays between 2 and 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I do have another channel, Ultra Sorcerer Den, that when I cover Japanese anime or cartoons in general. Right now we're doing the Shield Hero anime. We're in the middle of season 1. I do the watch parties on Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific time, usually after Gorilla's Random Thoughts Walton streams. Beyond that, every new watch hour and Watchmaker encourages us to more content for you guys. That's all a few dollars off YouTube. And whoever wants to go next after me, go ahead.
I'll just say, guys, Sci-Fi Sit Down. A couple of bad breaks on the original channel. Made a lot of progress in the year that he's been learning. And check him out when he's going as a sci-fi historian. And we'll drop that link during regular shows. And I'll put it in the description here for this one for anyone coming through later. We appreciate and love you all. Let's take the poll and close it. We had an original poll. The original poll was, sir, do you know anything about Russia? Oh, my God, did I miss a chat here? Oh, no, that was Ruby Hoove earlier. Ruby Hoove, thank you. This show brought to you by Ruby Hoove. This member stream brought to you by the generosity of the member of the Q Continuum, Ruby Hoove. So, with 29 votes, very scientific and not controversial at all, would be 10% of people. It's very good, Tony. Sir! The weekday talk show has got 10% of our viewers here. Star Trek, 52%. Taylor Sheridan, about 3%. I do think the Taylor Sheridan audience is one that comes through later. And our Star Trek people who have been held over, who like the live streaming, they come to the Taylor Sheridan shows. And that is why that is such a successful upload. It's an upload audience for Taylor Sheridan. I don't know what to tell you. We're not turning away the views or the watch hours or the subs. We love it. And, come to the Taylor Sheridan. Show up live for Star Trek. And yeah, you know what? It is pretty much dead for Star Trek. But here's the thing. The franchise had a bunch of licenses. They're retiring the Kurtzman license. It looks like what they're doing is, my opinion is the Ellisons are embarrassing Kurtzman on the way out the door so that he can't give them any real problems and building up the value of their own rights by making it look like the problem was him so that they'll win in arbitration. And now they will. They've got a lot of ammunition. These horrible moments of lowness, guys, this is our Valley Forge moment. We've never been closer to the end. I'm not saying that I know for sure United will be great and the Captain Archer sequel show will solve all our problems. I'm not saying for sure that I know that the movie will be great, that they say will come out this year, that I have my doubts about, that will not be Kurtzman affiliated. I know that we're getting rid of Kurtzman this year. I will not throw down with those who say it's a done deal right now or that they have proof. No one can yet, but I do not disagree with that. All rumors pointed to that he had to stop filming in January. There is one rumor that says he has time to film till August 31st. So we'll say this again on September 1st. But right now, from the great episode Omega Glory, when we look at the final season of Strange New Worlds, which I believe will be the last thing that will ever drop from him, that will be the last Coom place. Okay? What was ours before will be ours again. And we will save Star Trek and the other things too. Not because they're easy, but because they are hard. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you all. Thank you for being at the member chat and member stream. I hope you had fun. And we'll see you on Tuesday. You know what? Sydney Sweeney has been here for the whole show. But you know what?
Admiral Teague, trust us with your Star Trek.
Exactly. You know what? Is that a personal massager?
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you know what? Let's save everybody a lot of money in 40 seconds. A whole bunch of Star Trek movies, Star Wars movies right here. The entire life of Han Solo.
Approved.
One question. You want to live, Spike?
Yeah, but this time I've got the money.
You
tell Jabba. Yes.
Very nice.
I know that laugh.
Yes, anything.
We will win. We will win. We will.
Oh, God, man.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong? Shut up!
All right, everybody. We love you all. Bye.
Radio signal from another